What's up, y'all?
What it do? What it do?
Welcome to the jungle, everybody.
Welcome to the jungle. Actually, I thought I had a dream about a jungle. I think I had a dream I was in like South Africa or some shit on like an excursion, but I might just be making that shit up right now. You want to hear something funny?
Yeah.
So last week, how I mentioned I went to the drive-through shit in North Carolina.
Mm-hmm.
First off, Molly was fucking with that episode hard, but she said we never went to the drive-through hibachi shit. So I think I made up that whole story about like the food being banged. She was like, you wanted to go there, but we didn't end up going. I was like, damn. So I
Wow.
just made up some, like, I don't think I OD'd on the story. I think I was just like, we went and that shit was banging.
Yeah, no, I think you had a false memory. Like, that's a real thing, having a false memory.
Yeah.
Like, you actually thought that shit was real. It's like you always said when we were at trivia and there would be a question and I would hit you with some 110% confident answer and then I'd be wrong. It's like I had convinced myself like that shit is real, you know?
Yeah. Yep.
Like I'm not making it up. I'm like, nah, I heard that, and the answer is this, you know?
But I even said to her, I was like, I'm still like 80% sure we went there. Cause I was like, nah, we went there. And she was like, we didn't go there. But I was like, I think I could have swayed her that we went there is the moral of my story. So I might have went to that shit.
Well, I have a flip side messed up memory story on some shit I blanked out. So there was one time in college where like I went out one night and like I like did Adderall and fucking drank all night and did a whole bunch of dumb shit.
Mm-hmm.
And we were at some club and then like I got home at like 4 a.m. or something and went to sleep, or like even maybe 5 a.m. I feel like the sun may have been coming up when I was coming back. Anyway, and so apparently, so there was like a loud noise that was coming from outside at like 7 a.m. or 8 a.m., some way too early shit.
Mhm.
And it was like a leaf blower. And so
Oh, so
I,
it's definitely sun coming up type of shit.
yeah, so I'd only been sleeping for like maybe a couple hours, and then I heard that. And so I got up, went outside and started like yelling at my neighbor, like turn that shit off, like because I was trying to sleep and I was
Yeah.
like hung over and cracked out and shit, and I was
No one
like
wanna hear that
apparently
shit.
I like yelled at my neighbor, but then I didn't remember it for the longest time. Like it's like my brain wouldn't let me remember it because it was like a fucked up thing to do. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like I was
Yeah.
being a big asshole, and it was like my fault for getting fucked up the night before and getting
No, but
home
it's
way
kind of
too late.
gangster. You like knew you could just yell at your neighbor like that on some shit. Like,
But
yo, turn that shit off.
But that's the thing. Like, if I was in my right mind, I never would have done that. You know what I'm saying? Like, it had to be being under the influence. And then I literally just blacked out the memory completely. Like, I didn't remember it at all. And I
Yeah.
know that, like, my mom or something was like, you know, the neighbor said that you said that. And I was like, oh, I didn't. And then, like, I didn't remember for the longest time. And then at some point, way later on, I got like a flash of it in my brain of like, no, definitely did that shit. I definitely did that shit. So yeah, I had the opposite. Like you planted a whole new memory. I like blacked out a memory for the longest time. Memory is just not reliable in any way, shape, or form. Like our shit is lies to us like nobody's business.
I watched it was a banger, 12 Angry Men.
Mm-hmm.
Mad good movie. And like the whole concept of that movie was the kid couldn't remember shit right after like he had just witnessed like a murder or something like that.
Mm.
And people were trying to hit him with like he came from a movie and they're like, what was the name of the movie? Like you clearly got to remember the name of the movie. He was like, couldn't remember it. Like that whole shit. Um but yeah, I like my memory's flaky where I feel like I don't know, it's not too flaky. I remember the stuff I remember pretty well and won't just except for the hibachi, I guess when it's like some shit that I should have done and really wanted to do, I'll kind of convince myself the memory is there. I actually like came home similar to your story one night. I was probably with you, but I like drove home or came home, got dropped off, probably had a couple drinks, and there was like caution tape all around my house, like on some OD shit.
What?
Yeah. So like I was like, fuck this. I'm going underneath the caution tape. Like this is my house. and I don't know if I told this story before, but like, have I told this before? Do you know this?
If you did, I don't remember it.
Okay, so I came home, OD caution tape, cops, like sirens, mad shit outside my house, like outside my house, and I live on the corner, like.
This
So
is
like,
how long ago? How long ago was this?
I was probably in college, so
Okay.
maybe
Okay.
2007 or 8 or
Got
some
you.
shit, or
Got
maybe even after. I don't know. Probably 2010,
But around
12.
then, it wasn't
Yeah.
recent. It was around
No,
then.
no, no. Came home and mad cops, mad caution tape, but I was like, this is my house. Like, I could do whatever the fuck I want. Like, fuck you guys. I don't care if there's an investigation. Went under the tape and the cop kind of G'd me on some like, what are you doing? I was like, I live here, dog. Like, what are you doing? Like, so long story short, there was like a high-speed chase that the crash happened right in front of my house.
Oh, you did tell me this. Yes, I remember now. Yeah,
So like, that's the memory that like I remember kind of going under the tape and kind of ODing with the cop and being like, yo, you're on my shit. But that's pretty much the extent of what I remember. But also, if I was a black dude or some shit, it'd probably be a rap. Like,
yeah, it wouldn't have gone well. What did he end up saying to you when you said that?
I think he kind of like let me go into my house, but kind of was like, watch what you're saying type of shit.
Really?
But to your point, I would have never done that if I didn't have like a couple drinks or something in me.
Yeah, but I'll defend you on that though. Like you can't like if it's my house, you can't can't say shit.
Listen to this. So my house here in Illinois, all the houses, and a lot of houses have this, unless you like live in like a really upscale neighborhood where you have your own driveway shit. My driveway goes like this. So I have a house. It's like in a neighborhood. It's like a house. Like we own this shit. Like it's my house. Like don't tell me what I do with my house type of shit. But the driveway goes like it's a driveway. Then in the middle of the driveway, there's like a sidewalk that goes around like the whole neighborhood type shit. Like throughout the whole like complex shit. And it's not a complex. But then the other side of it, so it goes driveway, sidewalk, more driveway, like a little slab. So technically, you're not supposed to park on like that sidewalk shit. But it's like within my driveway on my house. So my mother-in-law, we got 3 cars parked in the driveway right now. So 2 in the top shit, and then 1, hers, goes on the bottom half, but it hangs over a little bit onto the sidewalk. Tell me how a cop came to my house and put a ticket on her shit in my driveway.
Stop it.
A $40 ticket. So
stop it.
I'm thinking now, one, kind of like, okay, if that's your sidewalk and your property and shit, you came onto my house, the driveway portion first, to hit her with a ticket on your shit. So technically you did some illegal shit to get to
yeah,
the
like
you
were trespassing to do the ticket.
Right? But
well,
how OD is that?
I'm struggling to like conceptualize exactly what it looked like. You'd have to almost draw that shit for me in order for me to understand it.
It's if I had never experienced this before and somebody told me that, I'll be like, what? There's a sidewalk in your driveway?
Yeah, I was a little bit confused by it. I was like, what?
Yeah.
You got to show me like a picture or something tomorrow, and then
I'll send you a picture. But it's just mad slimy. Like there's literally nobody in my fucking neighborhood. So for a cop to come and do that shit, it's just like,
yeah, like
you got better shit to do.
You're not blocking some like city commerce or something. Like that's what a parking ticket's supposed to be for. If it's like serious, like double parked, which I don't even know what double parking means. But like you're double parked and you're blocking like a truck from leaving to go deliver like a case of whatever, you know?
But if you live in a house, like, first off, I don't know if this has ever happened to you. Are you frozen?
No, I'm still here.
Oh, okay. I've just been like chilling in my backyard, and I have like a back like door type shit. We got the dogs out in the backyard. Occasionally, I've just seen like motherfuckers in my backyard, like planting stakes and shit to fix cable wires and like do shit on my property. Because like I guess like my backyard, there's like stuff for wires and poles and shit, but like they go into everyone's backyard and plant these little like red and green flags.
What's it for? What's it for?
I think it's either for like the water pipes or maybe some electrical shit. But the fact is they just walk on my shit and do what they got to do. So I should come at somebody for that.
Yeah, I think when it's some public shit, they really take liberty with it. Like it happens with like I got an old like gas meter or water meter or something, And like the Con Ed people just show up sometimes and they're like, we're gonna update your shit. Like
Yeah,
I'm coming in and I'm
that's more
like,
or less what I'm talking about.
bitch, you're not coming in. Like, no, I didn't agree to this. You're not coming in my house. What the fuck you mean?
Exactly.
Like, you can't just show up and be like, I'm coming in. Like the
Yes.
fuck you are. Like, go get a warrant or some shit. Like you're a police
Yes.
officer.
That's what I'm saying.
So anyway,
Like
I never answer the door for those motherfuckers. Like they've come a few times. I'm just like, no.
yeah, people come to my door. One, that's OD. Like if they're doing some service. But I had this debate with Molly too, and I kind of was like, I'd be more inclined to maybe do some service with someone who came to my door on some like hardworking type shit than someone who just like puts a flyer in my car or some shit. Like if you have the balls to come to someone's door and like be rejected and talk to them
But
and just walk the fuck away,
what?
like
Come to the house for what though?
like redo my windows or some shit. Like if they see they're fucked up.
Oh, like so they're going to like try to sell you on let me do your
Yeah,
window for you.
yeah. Like I'm not
Yeah.
buying chocolate or something like
See,
that.
now here's the big difference between me and you though. So like I literally just don't answer the door when I'm home. Like I just don't answer it. I got no interest. Just like when people call me, if I don't recognize the number, I'm not fucking
Oh,
answering it. Why would I answer
I don't
that
pick up.
shit?
Yeah, that I'm cool with.
I have
Yeah, I
my
guess-
text messages get diverted. If I don't know the message, it gets diverted to a folder where I don't see it.
How do you do that?
There's some shit on the iPhone. You can set it up where it just gets diverted into some unknown senders thing, and I just leave it. So I never people could because
Oh,
you know
wow.
sometimes
Yeah.
somehow people get my number because of what I do. I don't know
Yeah.
how, but then they just like text me, and I'll never fucking see that shit. You could be
Damn.
sending me like I'm gonna rape you, I'm gonna kill you. I don't fucking know. I have no idea.
Damn, I have always wondered about that because I've seen people like put those little tips on Twitter or just like those little like BuzzFeed things that's like if you want to stop spam folders in your Gmail, like keyword the word spam or keyword the word like unsubscribe, and they'll just go to like all your junk folder. But I never believed any of that shit was actually real.
Yeah, the Gmail thing, I don't know the specifics of the Gmail thing. I know for iPhone, you have the ability to separate out, like, these are the known senders, these are the unknown senders, and you could divert every text message or whatever. Yeah, they don't do that with phone calls yet, though. They don't, like,
Well,
let you
no, but they
not
should because you
get the
know
phone
what the
call.
thing
Oh,
that
they definitely should. They definitely should.
the
But I
shit
never
that confuses
answer.
me is when you get a phone call and it says scam likely.
Mm,
Like I get so many calls now that says scam likely. I'm like, if you can see that shit says it's a scam,
then yeah.
just don't even put the shit through. Like you're taking time to tell me this is likely a scam.
Yeah.
Just divert the shit. Like just delete the shit anyway. Like have a
But
server.
but like older people still feel like the year is 1987, and so when they get a phone call, they just answer that shit.
Yeah, I
You know? Like they're just like, "Hello?" And then somebody could say anything and they'll be like, "Well, why don't you tell me some more about it?" You know? Like that's what they do. Like that's why the older generation, like I know somebody who said their dad would get emails back, you know, when Obama was president.
Yeah.
And it would be junk ass emails that are just like Obama's a Kenyan Muslim and Michelle Obama's actually a man.
Mhm.
And then they would just the next time they see them, they'd just be like, "Did you know that Barack Obama's a Muslim Kenyan?" And it's just like they just believe it because back in their day, like if the newscaster said some shit, they would just be like, "That shit is true. They said it." So
Yeah.
they feel like everything today is exactly the same. Where like if anybody just says some shit, it's just like, well, it must be true. Bob said it. And it's like, no, that's why old people get scammed hard. Like even that, like
Clicking links and shit like that.
yeah, like how do you, like the whole like Nigerian prince scam, which is the old school scam, which has been going on for a hot minute. People still get got by that. People still get got by like, you know, some like getting in a relationship with somebody who's just straight catfishing them, you know?
Oh, bro, you know what the hardest job in like the world might be?
What?
An actual person who wants to like extend your car warranty shit. Cause that's like the like number one like joke and number one shit that they just do on some scam shit. But if you're actually a dude who like is trying to make it as a car warranty person, you got no shot.
Okay, but I'm gonna blow your mind right now. You ready for this?
Uh-huh.
There's no such thing as a non-scam car warranty.
Yeah, I believe that.
They're all bullshit. Even the shit when you go to the dealership the first time and they're like, oh, my business manager wants to talk to you, and you're filling out the paperwork and they start telling you about the extended warranty. I was in the car business.
Mhm.
I know how that shit works.
What does that even mean, an extended warranty?
The idea is like, okay, if you have however many months to pay it off, let's say, like, well, after that, if something goes wrong with your car, it's going to cost you a lot of money to get it fixed. So why don't you pay like a little bit per month, and then when some shit happens, then that shit will be taken care of for free. But when you do the math on it, it almost always is the case that you're going to pay equal or more if you get the warranty. If you don't get the warranty and some shit happens with your car, it's still good. It's not going to be that much. It's not going to be that much compared to how much if you're paying for it every fucking month. And the other thing is, that's the way that the business managers make their money, is they'll add on to the warranty. So they'll hit you with some shit just to make some numbers up, like, if you pay an extra $30 a month, but like 20 of that $30 is just going right into their fucking pocket. That's the profit.
But do people people get that shit?
People get that shit. Like, my mom still gets that shit. She feels like, oh, it's good to have a warranty. Like, a warranty makes your shit like safer. I remember when I got my last car, which was all the way back in 2016. I'm a baller, so I got a Subaru.
That's kind of gangster. But you should kind of live in Colorado and have like 4 bikes on the top of your car and a ski rack if you have a Subaru.
Exactly. So I have a Subaru. I got a 2016 Subaru, and I remember when I went to go sign the papers on that, I told the business manager, like, just so you know, bro, I've been in the car business. That was me trying to tell him, like, don't even
try some shit.
Your shitty pitch. Like, the answer is no. The answer is just no. I don't even want to hear it. So start saying a sentence. No. Homeboy tried to hit me.
He's like, hey, you want to fuck my sister? You're like, no.
Homeboy hit me with the like, well, look, since you've been in the business, I want to give you the special discount of the people who are in the industry. I was like, did you just hit me with the worst pitch ever for a scam? Like, you would have been better off telling me, like, can I scam you right now?
Yeah.
And then I would have been like, at least you're honest. Like, here, take $5. You know what I'm saying? It was so obnoxious. I couldn't believe that shit.
I'm surprised. I feel like everyone who works at Subaru, I picture everyone associated with a Subaru being from Colorado. That's like, I think, the #1 car of Colorado. So like, I can't picture like a sleazy car salesman person working at Subaru. Like, I feel like there's some honor. Like, same with Volvo. Like, whoever's a Volvo dealer, if Volvo's still a car.
They are, and those are reliable ass cars. Like, the whole reason I got a Subaru is because I was thinking, like, when it snows, I want to be able to drive that shit.
That's what I'm saying. Like, if you're selling a Subaru, if you're selling a Volvo, if you're a car dealership at that shit, I just picture like my dad working there, who's got like glasses, like was a computer teacher for like 40 years, and he's just like really working there because he thinks that's the most reliable car and doesn't want to put you in some shit that you don't feel safe in.
Yeah, you would think that, but that's not the way it works.
Damn, kind of fuck them.
Yeah, I mean, but it's like that at every dealership. That's just the nature of the business. Like, car salesmen have a bad rap, and the car industry has a bad rap. And you know what? They earned it. It's gotten a lot better since back in the day. Like, in the 80s, they just straight up robbed people.
No, but now it's swung back in their favor with the whole shortage of shit, because now you're kind of at their mercy.
Yeah, but that's not going into the pockets of the car salesmen or the business managers. That's
you don't think so?
No. That's because the parts are more expensive, because the supply chain is backed up and they don't have the parts, they don't have the microchips, they don't have the semiconductors. So like, the price is up just because the supply is low. So they're not. But back in the 80s, they were just straight up robbing people. Like, they would sell some shit for like $15,000 and they owned it for like $7,000.
Yeah, Molly's dad owned a car dealership, and there was a term for people that were like kind of just super, like, you could just get them. I don't know if it was like something lemon. I know
lemon
like
lemon is a car that doesn't run right.
Yeah.
Maybe a mark, because that's what
maybe a
scam
mark
artists call.
Yeah,
all the guys who are just easy to rip off.
He told me one time, and he said it was like a Ford Taurus or just like some basic ass shit. He had someone paying like, it was like $2,000 a month. They're like something crazy. Like the number was crazy. And I was just like, that's not possible. He was like, they did it.
What a lot of people don't know. What a lot of people don't know about the car business is that the real money is made in the used car business.
Mm-hmm.
Because the used car, it is somewhat subjective how much it actually costs. Like, what happens is, usually when somebody buys a new car, they trade in their old car, and they get like they get some money for it, right? Like if you're trading in a car that has like 100,000 miles on it, it's like 9 years old or 12 years old or some shit. They'll be like, all right, we'll give you $1,000 for it. Now the actual, like the blue book listing might be like 3,000 or some shit, right? And then they clean it, they spruce it up and make it look nice. They'll slap a sticker on it for like 10 grand. And even if somebody comes in and you knock $2,000 off that shit and you sell it for $8,000, you're making $7,000 profit.
Yeah.
And so that's when, like, that's where a car salesman, at least, that's where they really make their money. And probably places that sell used cars, that's where they really make their money. On the new cars, they're actually very strict with like the sticker price is not that much above how much it took to make it and how much they own it. So there's not as much, room to reduce the price on new cars. And people don't know that. People think, if anything, it's the opposite. They think like used cars are more like,
Yeah, I mean, if so used to buying something new, like it's going to be more expensive than a used product.
Yeah, but people think there's more profit margin in the new cars, and there's not. There's very little profit margin in the new cars.
Car dealership is also like kind of like exclusive in the favor of the car dealers, where it's, and I've had this conversation with Molly, it's kind of like you can't really find out what someone else is paying for your exact car because there's so many different variables. So like I said to her, because we were looking for a new car. Oh, there's a little long ass piece of hair on my face. And I was like, I'll just like, we'll be at a gas station. I'll see someone with a Chevy Traverse and I'll just be like, yo, what do you pay for your Traverse? And she's like, but that solves nothing because they could have put like $2,000 down and they're paying like $400 a month, but like,
so
they
that's
have all
true.
The bells and whistles and shit.
And then the different trim levels are big too. Cause you could vary the price massively. That's why if you look at car ads, it'll say like starts at $25,999. Like,
but I feel like it's one of those unwritten rules, like kind of like you don't ask someone how much they make or like what they get paid. And that's kind of the same thing where I feel like there's a stigma against asking someone how much their monthly car payment is.
No, that one's, I'll say that's borderline. That one's borderline. The one that's like a definitely don't do is like never ask a woman her age.
Yeah.
What's the other three? Don't comment on somebody's weight.
Yeah, well, like Molly was pregnant with 3 girls, and then after she was pregnant, you still have like some little weight to you. And like one of the cleaning ladies at her work or some shit was like, this Hispanic lady was like, "Oh, you're pregnant?"
Oh.
And she was like, I forgot if she I think she said no, but like it's on some like that's one you don't fucking do. And like I would never say to someone like, "Are you pregnant?" Another thing that I get that I was gonna mention is some shit that's never gonna go away now. I just have bags under my eyes now. Like it's a wrap for the rest of my life. So people always say I look tired.
Low key though, I'm about to bless you with something. There are certain under eye creams that tighten your shit up.
For real?
Yeah, but see, here's the problem though. For that shit, it's one of the industries where the more you pay, the more that shit works. Yeah. So there's some expensive ass under eye cream you could put on and it'll tighten your shit up real good.
Well, Molly got me this lotion thing that's like $400 lotion, but I also don't know when
that
to
shit'll
use
do
it. But I don't like shower enough where I put it on after all the time. And then I'm not just going to wake up and put that shit on my face, like, because my face is already greasy when I wake up.
See, that's the problem I run into too. Like, I don't know. So there's this cream. I don't want to give too much information away, but there's this person who she's older, right? But she looks phenomenal. Like I'm talking like 70-ish years old.
I think I know who you're talking about.
But her skin is like on point. It's amazing. It's like I've never seen a 70-year-old that looks, and it doesn't look fake either. It doesn't look like plastic surgery. Because that's the thing. Like you can start looking creepy as fuck with OD plastic surgery. Like it doesn't look real. It looks like you're stuck in a position or whatever.
Yep.
And so anyway, figured out the exact product that she uses on her shit. And I was like, I'm about to buy a lifetime supply of that bitch. And I'm going to get frozen.
It's just a lotion?
It's just a lotion, but it's expensive. It's a cream, expensive as fuck. That shit works, dog. It's like anti-aging shit. It's not actually, I don't think it's marketed as anti-aging stuff. It's just marketed as a cream, but it like dead ass works to just like freeze your skin age in time. Cause I'm telling you, this person's like 70 and their face looks like they're 45. Like it just looks, it's crazy.
Well, some people, and I don't know if I missed the boat on it because Molly's skin is like mad good and she uses lotions and she, all the shit. But I feel like my face, like that shit is gone. Like even if I put that crazy ass lotion shit you're talking about on there, like this, I think I'm not against it, but they say Botox can fix that shit.
No, okay. So look, now let's talk about plastic surgery. So I'm gonna give you my Kyle rules to plastic surgery. Okay.
Don't tell me I can't get plastic surgery because I feel like that's the only way that could fix or a filler.
So here's the thing, though. Like, there are certain things that just never look natural. Like they just look bad, Mm-hmm. And I think Botox is one of those things. I'm not sure I've ever seen a good Botox job where I'm like, you know what? You look good. It's more like, what the fuck happened to your face? It'd be better to age gracefully and normally than get the bad type of plastic surgery,
Yeah.
But I'll hit you with some positive shit though too. I'm not just gonna rain on your parade right now.
Yeah, don't just leave me hanging on the negative side.
Anybody is granted 1 or 2 plastic surgeries maximum. Mm-hmm. And then you got to tap out. Then it's a wrap. Like you got to pick the 1 or 2 things that you dislike the most and then do that plastic surgery and deadass spend the most you can on the most expensive plastic surgeon in the world because that's one of those other shits where the more you pay, the better the results are.
Yeah.
Like you can't go to some dude's basement who's injecting cement into people's ass cheeks. Like you can't do that. Like you got to get real good.
Some official shit. Yeah. Like, yeah.
Because I know my friend's dad, again, I won't say his name on air, but my friend's dad, he decided, I'm going to just do one shit. The thing he decided to do, something with his eyes. He like removed the excess skin that was in between. Like,
see, that's next level. Like that's
no. But wait. But when he got that shit done, it looked great. And I couldn't even tell what thing he did to make himself look better because I didn't know at the time. And I was just like, damn, he looks good. Like he looks younger than his age.
Yeah. I just feel like if it's some obscure shit, well, actually the obscure shit might be the shit that is the route to go. Because to your point, I would have never thought to remove some miniature shit over here that could improve the look of my whole overall face. Like I honestly at the end of the day don't give a shit, but like if I were to do something, it would be that. But I'm at a point right now where it's like I don't give a fuck. No, but natural is like there's levels to that shit. But I just have like one shit that's like.
Nah, your forehead. My forehead's got the same thing, man. Everybody's forehead got a little bit of something.
But the bags under my eyes. That's one that like unless I use that lotion shit, it's kind of like
hook you up. Cream
people always will be like, "You look tired," and I'm like, "I'm kind of not tired. That's just my face." Like that's some shit where like hitting someone with "you look tired" is like you probably don't need to say that one. Like because there's nothing positive that could come from "you look tired." Like because if a motherfucker is tired. Like just you telling them that they're tired is gonna make them more tired, if anything.
That's a funny point because to me, I don't put that in that category. If somebody tells me I look tired, I almost feel like they're just being sympathetic to me. So I'll be like, "Thank you."
Oh, for real?
Yeah, but you take it as offensive because you feel like the bags under your eyes make you look tired, and you hate the bags under your eyes. So that's why I take it that way.
Not even I hate the bags under my eyes, but if I'm doing some shit and I'm clearly like not tired in that moment, like if we're picking shit up and moving stuff, and you're like, "You look tired." It's like, no, but I'm doing the same shit as you. So like,
yeah, if you're not tired and somebody says it, then I would feel like, what?
Exactly.
Like something wrong with me? Like, what are you talking about?
Yeah. But if I was dead ass tired, so me and Molly went to dinner and I housed like mad food. She got tight at me because at the end of the meal, like I ate mad shit. And I was like, I'm tired. She was like, you can't say you're tired. Like we're still at dinner. I was like, but like, it's just a fact that I'm fucking tired. Like I just ate mad shit. Like there's just you can say something that's a fact and not have to get mad about it. Like there's some shit that like if you're truthful and honest about what you're saying, it shouldn't matter. Like,
well, that's why me and you are best friends, right there.
Yeah,
because
like
I could say anything to you as long you know where it's coming from. You know it's coming from a place of authenticity. So like 100%. If I say it, you'll just roll with it. It doesn't even matter what the fuck it is.
That's what I'm saying. It's like if I'm just saying some shit, just know that like I genuinely. It's coming from a good place.
Yeah, if you're saying you're tired, I mean, dog, I've said I'm tired at every hour of the day at different times, Like that is a common thing that comes. Is that just part of getting older that like you're just tired way more often, you know? Like when I'm not tired, I'm amazed. Like I'll be not tired during a day maybe like twice. Like there are two separate times where I'll be like, I'm sort of awake right now, but
Yeah.
like there will be like 7 times in a day where I'm like, I feel kind of tired right now.
Yeah, I feel like the 10 o'clock to, well, like 11 to 11:30 is prime. So like if you want me to do some shit, I'll do it between those hours. And then maybe like 3:45 to like 5:15. Outside of those hours, to your point, is like I'm gonna be tired.
And it also depends on the season too. Like in the winter, I'm way more tired, more often.
Yeah.
I could feel good until like 9 o'clock at night in the summer. Like I could be chilling until 9 o'clock at night. But the reason I get more tired now is when I'm in stepdad mode because that'll be some shit where you got to be up late for the kids for any of a number of reasons. And then the youngest always comes in at like 6 a.m. on the dot. And you know me, dog. I'm usually late to bed, late
Yeah.
to rise. So if I'm going to sleep at 1 a.m. or 2 a.m., something like that, and then I got to wake up at 6, I'm guaranteed to be tired the whole fucking day.
It's kind of weird unless if you're not a parent. I mean, I guess if you've babysat before, you kind of like when it's a very quick moment. Like when you babysit and then when you first leave like the people's house, you're like, fuck, that was exhausting. Like times that shit by forever being a parent. Like and you unlock, it's like a video game. You unlock a new like fucking level when you do shit and tell someone like you're a parent or step parent or some shit like that. Because I went to the dermatologist today. I had this shit on my finger, like under my ring. It was like a little, I don't know if it was a wart, but they had to remove the shit. And like the lady, I guess she just saw I was tired, was like, yeah, how you doing? I was like, oh, I'm good. Like, might have got this shit from water, like washing my daughter's, baby bottles and stuff. She was like, oh, like daughters. And then like she was like, I got two kids too. And then kind of we just bonded on some like we're just both tired on this type of thing. So like she hit me with some like I wasn't fucking with you until you told me you were a parent, but now I fuck with you because I know that you're tired just like me. So
Yeah. The thing is, kids are, I'm going to say this as PC as possible. Kids are incapable until a certain age when they're much older. They're incapable of sensing your vibe as a parent
yeah,
and adjusting accordingly.
yeah,
Like this has always been the case, me and you, when we go to Politicon or when we go wherever, you have a sixth sense. You know when I'm in a mood where I'm like, I just gotta like not talk and just fucking,
yeah,
you know what
yeah,
I'm saying? Like immediately, and then you immediately snap into like, that's what's up. Like I'm gonna
yeah, yeah.
go take a ride. I'll go on the scooter, whatever. Right? Kids do not have that ability until they're probably like 20 or older. Like they just don't. There's no sense for any other whatever shit you're feeling, whatever you're going through is just it doesn't matter because like they just you're like an avatar to them, and you're an avatar of like just authority, right? Like you're in charge, and so since you're in charge, it's almost like you're seeped of all like human qualities and feelings, and so
Yep.
they just assume like you're good no matter what, like you're good, and so you just got to keep doing shit and you got to be on top of shit. And that it requires like constant focus and constant energy. You know what I'm saying?
You know, I'm about to hit you with a hot take real quick when you said that sentence. Avatar was kind of a whack movie.
I never even watched it, dog. I
Yeah, I
never
think
even
I think
watched
it
it.
was like one of those where like I don't even remember it, and I don't even know if they came out. They might have came out with an Avatar 2, or they were talking about doing it, but it might have just been such a whack shit that they never did. But Avatar might have been the highest grossing movie like of all time.
Let's see if Avatar 2. Avatar 2 2022 it says.
Oh shit! So that shit's like coming out.
Is it true Avatar 2 is coming out? Less than a month after its release, the prolific director announced plans for Avatar 2 and Avatar 3 set to be shot back to back starting late 2011.
Oh,
Um
2011?
oh, so maybe it was supposed to come out but it didn't. I don't know.
Oh, wait. So 2011 or 2021?
It said in 2011 they announced it would come out, and then it just hasn't come out. Avatar 2 is an upcoming American epic. It's not
Wait,
out
so they
yet.
said in 2011
That they're
that
going to do a 2 and a 3, and they just didn't yet, I guess.
Damn, that's mad long to
That
not do
shit,
a 2 and a 3.
that shit made a lot of money, dog.
No, I know. Avatar was like the highest grossing shit of all time, but like, to my point, why haven't they hit in 10 years? They haven't hit you with a 2 and a 3?
Yeah.
There got to be something weird going on.
Yeah, there's got to be something weird going on.
And it
But,
wasn't
like,
that hot to like kind of, they would have done that shit right away.
so I heard that movie was amazing, but I never like here's my problem, and I'll admit this is a problem with me. So like people could blame me for this, and I don't blame them for blaming me. But like, my whole shtick on superhero movies. Like I'm not 8 years old. Like I don't. I know I get what's gonna happen. Good guy, bad guy. Bad guy looks like he's gonna win, then good guy swoops in and wins. I got it. Like so, all the superhero
what
movies
happened in that shit.
in Avatar, yeah,
Yeah.
and that's not a superhero movie, and I'm not saying it's a superhero movie.
Uh-huh.
But like, here's my problem, and this is probably because I'm low key like OD autistic. I don't understand the appeal of most fiction shows. Like anything that's fiction, any movie, I just it never appealed to me. I care because so much crazy shit happens in the real world that
Yeah.
like I don't need to see you make up some shit and say it's crazy when you got like little ass blue people running around. Like what are you, Smurfs? Did the Smurfs grow up? Is that who the Avatar people are? So like that's why I'll watch a documentary on like fucking Nazi Germany. I'll watch some crazy real life shit is way more interesting to me. Now I could be a sucker too for like a realistic type TV show, like Sopranos, for example. But like I've always struggled with getting into superhero shit or something like Avatar. And I've heard people have said about like cartoon movies, like, oh, you got to see that. That's my shit. I love it. And I just never could force myself to watch them.
Yeah. Avatar, I feel like it's coming back to me now. Might have been some futuristic shit at the time where I think the dude got into a capsule and it turned him into that like greenish bluish shit, and he had like a life in the jungle while in this like pod thing, if I remember correctly. And the same thing with the girl, like they were in these pods, and if they got out of it, then they weren't active in like the Avatar shit anymore.
So it's sort of like some weird Matrix like plot.
I think so, but I don't remember being blown away by like the movie. I don't think it was like that good. I don't know.
Let's look it up on Rotten Tomatoes.
It probably got like a fucking 105 just because of like the hype that it like generated. But Avatar, to not have a sequel in 10 years, that's kind of OD.
So here we go. It looks like 82%, but I want to see if that's the audience or the critics. So it's dead tied. The audience said 82%, the critics said 82%. That's rare. I've never seen the same shit for the audience and for the critics.
Yeah.
By the way, I disregard whatever the critics say. I'm an audience person. I feel like the audience more reflects how I feel about shit more than the critics do.
Yeah, but I also feel like Avatar was one of those movies that could have gotten like the Eminem Limp Bizkit effect where they pumped it up because they wanted it to be like a box seller, like banger, Yeah. Where if it just came out as a regular movie, what would it have been really good? Yeah. I don't know. I can't make it through full movies. I did just watch a movie. It was called Queen Pins, I think it was, which was pretty solid. It was with Kristen Bell, and they were. I think it was based on a true story, but they were extreme couponers, and they like had this whole scam of selling coupons to people, and made like millions of dollars. And supposedly it was based on a true story, and they only got like 10 months in jail or something like that. It just ruined the whole shit. But like,
you saw it in theaters or it was
no, it was on like Showtime. But it was
just
fun.
On some random ass nighttime shit. You were just scrolling.
Yeah, I saw on Instagram a clip from the movie, and it was kind of funny. So I looked it up and was like, oh, this is new and kind of looks okay. And it was okay. I enjoyed it. Like it had some funny parts. Oh, Vince Vaughn was in it, but I thought it was a good movie. It was funny. It's just weird, that whole world of like couponing, because I used to watch like extreme couponing on like TLC or whatever the Honey Boo Boo channel was. And like people would like, that shit was wild. Like they would buy like 40 fucking detergents. They buy like 90 toilet papers just to like get their coupon had to like exceed like a certain amount. So you had to buy X before you can get money back or some shit. So like these people's garages would be like 40 ketchups.
Can't you also find a way to like basically get a whole ass grocery shopping shit for like $18 if you coupon right?
Yeah, but the shit they're buying is if you look at, they got like 40 bags of Blue Ranch Doritos and like 70
so you have to
Cheerio
buy
boxes. Yeah, you got to buy like crazy amounts of shit just to like get. You got to buy 50 Cheerios to like make $2. I don't know what the shit is, but like
yeah, see,
you have to buy
didn't
a crazy amount of like these random products.
I feel
So
like
it's not
back
you
in
could go in there and be like, I'm gonna buy healthy turkey and shit that I want. Like, you got to buy the shit that whatever they're sending you a coupon on.
But I feel like back in the day, they would just have ridiculous deals on certain brands or whatever that nobody really wants. And so if you were to get all that shit, you could do a whole ass grocery shopping and spend like next to nothing.
I don't think it's like you could just go in there with coupons and just buy the shit you want. Like, I'm telling you, it was like you have to buy like.
I'm saying back in the day, it used to be like that though, where
Maybe.
like you could go through a whole ass coupon book and you could find some 70% off of some budget ass toilet paper that's like sandpaper wiping your ass. And then if you buy that shit, it's like, I only spent 79 cents on this whole roll of toilet paper. You know what I'm saying?
Probably. I mean, there's ways to fucking take advantage of like tons of shit. Or you could just go to the dollar store and buy some toilet paper where you start like wiping your ass with your fingers. But like they sell like some shit that kind of like they sell good stuff at the dollar store, like the dollar store. But
but what's the name of it though? Is it just Dollar Store?
No, Dollar Tree.
Yeah, see, I think was
the
it
green
Dollar
side.
Tree? What's that?
Like it's a green shit.
Oh, that's
Dollar Tree.
Oh, that is Dollar Tree. That's right. Okay. I think Dollar General was the one.
Dollar General's yellow, and that shit is way overpriced.
Dog, and not only that, they had a big ass expose where like they went to the headquarters of that shit, and there were just rats everywhere. Yeah, like there was some big article. I forget where it was. Crystal was telling me about it. It may have been Washington Post or something. That had this big expose where it was so bad that
what do
the
you mean,
federal
like their
government.
Big warehouse?
Yeah, there was a big warehouse where all their shit comes from, where there's rats everywhere and rat shit everywhere, and it was so bad that the federal government had to like get involved and by the way, the federal government never gets involved in shit like that. They usually let you get away with whatever the fuck you want to get away with, but that shit was so bad that they had to crack down on it. Yeah, so those dollar stores are sus as fuck. I know that the Dollar Tree one is nicer because I've been in Dollar Tree too.
Yeah.
But still, who knows what the fuck's going on at those headquarters and shit.
Yeah. But like the Dollar Tree is like you could make a killing in that shit. But Dollar General,
I've been in Dollar Tree before. Yeah, I've been in Dollar Tree. I'm on Rotten Tomatoes right now, and I'm trying to look up like some of my favorite movies.
Are there even any new movies out?
No, I'm looking at my old school favorite movies.
Oh, but I don't even know if there's like any new movies out. Like that's why I was surprised to find that one Queen Pin, because I haven't seen like advertisements for any new shit.
Movies in theaters now. Let's see.
I also think I like subconsciously hear about a movie and then I mention it on the podcast because I don't know if I read somewhere about Avatar 2 or 3 coming out, but I don't feel like I did. And then someone said, Molly told me there was a movie coming out called Dogs with Channing Tatum, like coming out this month that I had no idea about. But last week I mentioned there's no movie called like Dogs.
Dogs, Channing Tatum. Oh shit, she's right.
But like I did not know that when I said there's no movie called like just Dog. And then literally she was like, I just looked it up. There's a movie coming out called Dog with Channing Tatum.
It's called Dog, but is it actually about a dog? Yeah, with a dog named Lula by his side. Army Ranger Briggs
is gonna break records. Like that's gonna be the like if I could invest.
They fucked it up though. They fucked it up. Because it's not. The idea is to call it Dogs and have a bunch of cartoon dogs.
Yeah, but Channing Tatum kind of overrides all that shit.
No, but you can't name it Dog if Channing Tatum's in it. Listen to this description. With a dog named Lulu by his side, Army Ranger Briggs races down the Pacific coast to make it to a soldier's funeral on time. Along the way, Briggs and Lulu drive each other completely crazy, break a handful of laws, narrowly evade death, and learn to let down their guard to have a fighting chance of finding happiness.
That's going to be... What was that Italian movie where the guy was jumping on the seat, fucking like whacking off at the Oscars? A Beautiful Life?
I don't know.
Yeah, A Beautiful Life, I think it was. He like was going crazy at the Oscars, like jumping on people's seats and shit like that. It might have like that Avatar. Look up what the highest grossing movie of all time is.
It's Titanic, I think.
You think?
I think it is. Yeah,
I feel like Avatar is up there.
Highest grossing movie of all time. Avatar. It's Avatar.
Oh wow.
Titanic fell off. Titanic is number 3 now. It's Avatar number 1, Avengers Endgame number 2.
Wow, Avatar
Titanic
is still
3.
holding on to that shit.
Avatar, and it's from 2009. But it barely hung on though, because Avengers. So Avatar is 2.847 billion, and Avengers is 2.798 billion. So Avengers was really.
There's got to be something shady going on with. I kind of want to pull a conspiracy on Avatar here.
I sort of fuck with you on that.
Like, but, there's got to be some behind the scenes producer, director. Like,
wait, no. Here's how I was agreeing with you 100%, but I just realized that I never heard shit about Avengers either, and that shit is number 2.
Nah, Avengers is like, I've heard about Avengers, and there's like Endgame, and there was some other version of Avengers, and then there's like a whole bunch of the mini Avengers that had their own shit that laid up to like the Avengers coming together. So that one I kind of like, it's justified that like there was a whole bunch of like mini, like this guy's an Avenger, this person's an Avenger, and they all had their own mini movies, and then it all came together for
sort of
the main shit.
Fuck them for leeching off the success of it by just coming up with like spin-off. I hate spin-offs. Like, don't hit me with spin-offs. Fuck your spin-offs.
Well, they all like the mini ones are all spin-offs, and there was like 900 versions of the Hulk.
I hate that. That's lazy, dog. That's all about the green. That's what that is. That's like, we just want to make money. We know this shit was a hit, so let's try to make money off it in as many ways as possible. Like, hit me with some new original shit that's actually interesting. Like, that's why Netflix, like, I fuck with Netflix a lot, because they'll drop some shit that's some random ass show on some random ass thing, and it'll be banging, and you'll be like, oh, well, this is amazing. And they spent like a bunch of money on the budget. It could have flopped, but they were like, nah, let's try this.
I also don't get Netflix and HBO sometimes, because they cancel bangers that should not be canceled, and there's no reason for why they canceled those shits. So kind of fuck them too.
They canceled.
I fucked with the show Crashing. That was banging. The guy's name was like Pete Holmes was the main guy. He's a comedian. If they still got like 2 seasons or 3 seasons of it, if somebody wants to watch a good show, that shit was actually really good. There was another one that I never watched, but How to Make It in America was one that people like a lot. It was on like HBO or one of those shits. But there's just random shows. But I'm also I want to go back to Avatar and kind of question why they never made a sequel if that shit was the #1 highest grossing movie of all time.
Well, I think they're still trying to. I just don't know when it's going to be released.
Yeah, but it's just something fishy about that movie.
So the list of
the director got caught doing some Harvey Weinstein shit or some shit.
The list of the movies that are the top 10 most grossing of all time makes me realize how massively out of touch I am with pop culture. Because like, here's the list: Avatar #1, Avengers Endgame #2, 2 movies I didn't see.
Mm-hmm.
Titanic #3, that's the only one I saw. Let's keep going. Star Wars: The Force Awakens. That was from 2015. I didn't see that shit. That's $2 billion. And #5 on the list, Avengers: Infinity War. That's the other Avengers one.
See, yeah,
I didn't see that shit. #6, Spider-Man: No Way Home. Like, I never saw that. That came out in 2021. Like, what the fuck? Wasn't that?
There's got to be a way home. Like,
how the fuck did people watch it during the pandemic?
Yeah,
I don't even understand that shit. Jurassic World #7. I never watched Jurassic World.
Yeah.
Lion King #8. I did see that, but I was like a baby.
Like the OG Lion King is still holding strong.
The OG Lion King is up there.
That's respect to Lion King. Like, good for them.
Yeah, the only ones I watched are ones from 87 years ago. Then you got Marvel's The Avengers #9 on the list. I never watched that shit.
Yeah, Avengers is all over that
shit.
See,
now I'm pissed. Because you know what #10 on the list is?
What?
Furious 7. It was the 7th thing of Fast and Furious. Like, come on, man.
That had to have been the one where like the guy died or something like that.
Yeah, but
isn't there like 17 of those bitches?
I think, well, maybe there's even more than 7 because this shit came out in 2015. So, like, maybe they did more since that. Like, come on, man. Like, they're turning me into an elitist reading these shits because if this is the shit that grossed the most, like, fuck everybody's opinions. Fuck everybody's tastes. Like, why are these shit the best? Like, there's so many good movies out there, and they picked all these whack-ass movies.
They need to do a collaboration between Fast and Furious and then Now That's What I Call Music, and like kind of make a movie just with that soundtrack.
Dog, Now That's What I Call Music was hilarious. We had commercials all through our childhood of those shits. Now That's What I Call Music, Volume 12.
There was well, first off, I want to just say that Channing Tatum's movie Dog is gonna surpass Avatar as the #1 grossing movie of all.
I'll take that bet right now, dog. I'll bet you $100 on that shit right now.
If this was pre-pandemic, where Channing Tatum can go on like Ellen DeGeneres with an actual dog, that guy would tap into so many people's hearts that movie, he gets into art like he has a dog like Channing Tatum. That's
okay,
like,
wait. Let's make a bet right now.
Play that role.
Let's make a bet right now.
Justin Timberlake.
Let's make a bet right now. This shit won't crack the top 10. $100.
It definitely won't crack the top 10.
Okay, so tell me your line, and I'll tell you if I'll take the bet. Give me the line.
It's hard to put that shit out now because it's like,
yeah, you know that shit can flop. That movie can flop. They fucked it up, dog. If they named it, your idea was better. Name it Dogs
and just a whole bunch of cartoon dogs.
Have a golden retriever in that bitch. Have a Dalmatian in that bitch. Like, that's a sure winner. Have Disney make it. If Disney made a movie called Dogs with cartoon dogs, are you kidding me?
Tanning is the wild card though, because he kind of, it's either just a quick money grab for him or he really thought that like families will come out and see this shit and like,
dog.
You know, like the president, like
Tatum's nuts, dog. He's not that special.
Channing Tatum might show up at the White House and like have a dog day with Joe Biden's motherfucking dog.
Hold on, I'm gonna look up the movies that Channing Tatum was in.
Did Joe Biden get his dog back?
I have no idea.
Because he like sent his dog away.
Yeah, because he was like biting people and shit.
I wonder if he got his dog back.
Yeah, dog. Channing Tatum's movies are buns. So you got 21 Jump Street, White House Down, 22 Jump Street, Foxcatcher. Like, this motherfucker's not.
Foxcatcher was kind of a banger. It never really popped up, but he also was in the one that the girls go crazy for, where he's a stripper.
Nobody watched that shit. Magic Mike.
Are you kidding me? Look up how much money. What was that shit called?
Magic Mike XXL.
Magic Mike.
Here.
No, XXL might have been a sequel. I think Magic Mike was just the regular.
All right, let's look it up. Magic Mike. Yeah, so the original is Magic Mike 2012. Then Magic Mike XXL came out in 2015. So let's do Magic Mike.
Yeah, gross money or some shit.
Yeah, let me just go to the Wikipedia because it'll have it there. Magic Mike 2012.
Magic Mike had to have done numbers.
I don't think so.
That was like every girl like went out on a girls' night and went and saw Magic Mike.
Dog, women don't give a fuck about some like young pretty boy with muscles.
Yes, they do. Single women like they gather their girls together, they drink wine, and then they go watch shit like Magic Mike.
Dog, you're thinking that women are like men. Like, yeah, men like
they're worse.
Like big asses and big titties. Women don't sit there thinking about dudes' abs.
Yes, they do.
No,
are you kidding me? They wouldn't have a whole category of like Chippendales and these type of movies.
Okay, Corin, how many Chippendales are there currently around the United States?
7.
There's like 0 now. Women are not like dudes, I'm telling you. There's like strip clubs where women strip in like every major city in the U.S. And there's like no fucking equivalence of that for women. All right, Magic Mike is a 2012 American comedy drama film directed by Steven Soderbergh, starring Channing Tatum. Blah, 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 blah. The film is loosely based on the experience of Tatum, who was an 18-year-old stripper. He was a real stripper in real life? Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I think so.
Magic Mike was filmed in several locations around West Central Florida. The film premiered as the closing film of the 2012 Los Angeles Film Festival, June 24, 2012, and was widely released by Warner Brothers, blah, 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 and was a critical and commercial success.
I told you, Magic Mike was everywhere. They had that shit in Mexico, like Brazil, Jamaica. Everyone was watching Magic Mike.
They did freak it. So the budget was only $7 million, which for a movie is nothing. That's nothing for a movie. It made $167 million.
Yeah, that shit almost cracked top 10.
Top 10.
Here, but I will tell you this.
No. But low key, I'll give it to you. Like, it was bigger than I remember.
But this is a fact, though. Women get together more in like group settings with wine and social shit and watch shit like Magic Mike and some movies like that, some like corny guys dancing in some underwear shit, more so than a group of guys getting together and watching like Pretty Women or some shit or striptease. Like
Pretty Women.
guys will get together and watch like we like used to like after high school watch it like Denzel marathons and like some like gangster shit like that. But we'll never have a group of guys get together and just drink beer and watch like some weird ass like women like bridesmaids
on stripping shit. Yeah, because the sexuality is different in many ways. But here's what you're missing. You're missing a crucial part of this shit. The Magic Mike thing is not some shit where it's like all these women are going and like drooling over Channing Tatum. The shit that a woman is more likely.
You've never seen like like just a big woman who's like, like grind on me.
the shit that a woman is more likely to enjoy in that respect is like some Hallmark ass movie. That's the shit. It's not. It's like some either some sappy love story or women love stories about like a husband who's abusive as fuck and the woman has to escape the abusive ass husband.
Yeah, but they watch that
on the Hallmark Channel all the damn time.
They watch those by themselves or like with one other girlfriend when they're going through a breakup or some shit.
Nah,
group setting, if you were to pull women, would be some like give me some sexy shit where like a guy's in his underwear.
Yeah, but dog, the sexy shit, like the sexy shit to them is more. It's more on some mental and psychological shit. It's like they want to see a woman get like courted, and they want to see a true love story. They don't want to see some shit where some dude's shaking his dick and he's showing off his abs. Like no woman like. Is there some percentage? Yeah, I'll give it to you. I could imagine like the OD fat woman who like doesn't have a lot of sex and hasn't had sex since 1987 and is like, oh, that's Channing Tatum. But like, there's definitely
all of Ellen DeGeneres' audience is like they want to watch those Channing Tatum movies.
No, I'll give you that. All of Ellen DeGeneres' audience, but they are not typical. Like what's more typical is what I'm talking about, where a woman wants to watch a Hallmark movie. They want to see a love story. That like there's so many like romantic movies that women love. Like they got lists of the fucking of all those movies. You know what I'm saying? Like even from when we were younger, when we were in like high school, I'm trying to remember some of the names of them.
What like male stripper movies?
No. The like romantic comedy ones that the women love. Where, like, they end up together at the end of it.
Yeah, like You've Got Mail and like Sleepless in Seattle. All those like that's taking it way back.
That is taking it way back. But like Love Actually,
the proposal.
Here. Like got it. Crazy Stupid Love. Love Actually.
Yeah.
Pretty Woman. Like this is the shit that they like. They don't care about fucking Channing Tatum's ballsack.
There's a lot of women that care about Channing Tatum's ballsack. And Channing Tatum with a dog in California trying to get to some like funeral type shit. And that could go any way. Like it kind of sounds like that shit could be a comedy. The dog might die at the end, like because it's like they're doing crazy shit. I'm telling you, if that dog dies at the end of that movie, it's gonna break top 10.
Here, let's look at the budget, and then I'll come up with a number. And if they gross more than that over a year, it's $100. What's it called? Dogs? Yeah,
it's called like dog or something.
Dog Wiki. Okay, let's look at this. Let's see how much it costs. Oh, I Wikipedia dog, and just a dog came up.
What if there was like a controversy around that dog? Like it came out and he like said some fucked up shit on Twitter years ago.
That might happen. All right, so the budget is only $15 million for dog.
It's a little much.
And it says box office 75.7 million. I don't know what that means though.
Oh, because it's probably out already.
It was released on February 18th, 2022.
That's a good start.
Let's see. Let's look it up.
That's gotta be, yeah. Because Magic Mike only did 130 million.
Yeah, 127, I think it was.
That doesn't even seem like a lot. Like,
okay, let's see. Let's check out Rotten Tomatoes. Oh shit!
What'd it get?
Dog, you may have got me on this too, man. So it got 76% from the critics.
Yeah.
But wait, 89% from the audience.
I'm telling you, because the people going to see that shit are already. They're going to see Chappelle. Like they're already going in there and leaving. And because if someone leaves that shit, and they're like, man, it was whack. The dog wasn't a good actor. Like, they would get shitted on so hard. They'd be like, dog, it's a dog.
I may have to retract my previous statement. I think women want to see Channing Tatum's ballsack.
That's what I'm saying. Whatever he does. That's everyone's homework assignment is go watch the movie Dog.
But I do remember, I don't know if I pulled this on my Twitter or if I'd like had a conversation when I used to be at the dealership and I asked all the women in the dealership, but I remember we were having this debate one time. Like, would you rather have like a boyfriend or a husband or whatever with like washboard abs or with a little bit of a belly? And it was like 90% were like, I'd rather have them with a little bit of a belly. Because they look at the ripped dudes as high maintenance. They look at them as like, it's almost like how we would look at most women that has some OD fake titties, got some Botox in her lips type shit.
They were trying to make you feel good.
At the time, I was skinny as I was like, I may have had abs at the time.
It probably was like 4 other car salesman dudes with OD stomachs that were like, oh, come on, you got to be me, right? Like, it's like the age-old shit with bald guys, and like the woman that he's with is like, I love bald guys. Like, no, you don't.
No,
bitch, you don't.
I'm not buying that shit.
And that's what I'm saying about women.
You don't see how that could be high. Like, a woman could look at a guy that has washboard abs and they'd be like, you know what? You spend too much time in the gym. You're too narcissistic. You only think about yourself. That's not attractive. You care too much about how you look. There's a whole bunch of reasons why you'd see some dude with washboard abs and be like, you know what? I don't know about all that.
Nah. I think they're lying on some shit. Like, if it's like just some regular ass ab shit, feels like some next level weird shit. But I don't know. I mean, like, yeah, like when they're like dad bods are in, it's like, no, it's not. It's just like,
no, it depends. Like, you can't have a big ass pot belly. That's obvious.
Yeah.
But like, would you rather have a dude with a normal stomach or with washboard abs? I think most women are picking normal stomach. They're not picking the washboard abs. Dog, we're not 17 anymore. Like, people are mature. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, in the same way, yeah, maybe when we were 17, I'd see some big double D fake titties and a girl with Botox and be like, oh, she's so hot.
But now it's just disgusting.
Yeah, I'm like, what are you doing? Like, what are you doing? Trying too hard. It's not that serious. Relax. And you were probably better looking before you got all that shit done. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's the same kind of idea.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah. I guess. Yeah, I could be swayed on that shit.
Yeah. Okay, good. Because that one, I was willing to go to the mat for that argument right there, for sure.
I have a question for you.
Shoot.
What is the whole concept of Easter?
So there's a bunny.
Like, I mean, like, I'm Jewish, so I understand that, like, there's a purpose for Passover, and it's kind of like they fabricate the story a little bit. Like, there's definitely no way that the fucking sea just parted like that, because that shit is just not possible.
Okay.
But Jesus, like, was just like, yo, I'm coming back to life, and then he just came back to life.
So here's what it says on Wikipedia. Easter is a Christian festival and cultural holiday commemorating the resurrection of Jesus from the dead, described in the New Testament as having occurred on the 3rd day of his burial, following his crucifixion by the Romans at Calvary. So it's just when Jesus is supposed to have risen. It is the culmination of the Passion of Jesus preceded by Lent. So you're supposed to like fast for 40 days leading up to it or something. I don't know.
Oh, if you like really celebrate the holiday, you gotta like fast for 40 days?
Yeah, but like people don't do that shit. Or if they do that shit, they do like a diet ass version of it, you know? Like I know
who does that shit.
Like my mom wouldn't eat, I think it's like don't eat meat on Fridays or something.
Oh yeah, I know about all that shit. Yeah.
But that's what it's supposed to be, the resurrection, but that shit is fake. And then it turned into, because we live in America and everything's like consumerist. So we just turned that into like some fun shit for kids. Like, we got a bunny and we got colorful eggs. And everybody's like, I like bunnies and colorful eggs. And then that's what ended up happening with it, you know?
A genius business idea is to invest in a really good bunny outfit. And if you're like 6'2", just bring that shit out every year and walk through neighborhoods and charge like $5 a picture. Because it's not creepy, because they don't technically know who you are in the bunny suit. And everybody wants a picture with some mascot-y type shit.
Do they have some do they have something similar to that, like at the mall? Like, you know how during Christmas time, kids
Yeah.
go to the mall and like sit on a pedophile's lap? Like, is that what? Do they have some Easter bunny shit this time of year, or is
Yeah,
that?
you could definitely go to the mall and take a picture with a bunny, but if you don't go to the mall and you just saw like a big ass bunny standing outside your house, you wouldn't be like, "Hey, like, I get a picture." And if the
Yeah, if I
bunny
saw a
like,
bunny on the street, I'd just be creeped out, right? Wouldn't you be
it'd be
creeped out
creepy,
by
but if
that
they
shit?
were going around on Easter Sunday,
Yeah, but it's hard to make a bunny not look creepy, like a bunny costume. You
that's
know?
true.
Here, let me try to see if I can find bunny costumes that don't look creepy.
It'd have to be the right setting.
Easter bunny costume.
They all look creepy. But my sister said that she's in Colorado. She said that there was a bunny that was charging $7 a picture, like in her neighborhood, which the motherfucker probably made a killing.
Okay, so most of them are creepy.
Yeah.
And the ones that are creepy are because they have like giant black eyes.
Oh, that's
That
even
makes
worse.
it OD creepy. But
Yeah.
there's a few that don't have the giant black eyes and they don't look that creepy. In fact, they look kind of cute. So,
But it
if
has to
you're
be in the
gonna
right
do
setting.
that,
Yeah.
if you're going to do that, make sure you buy a non-creepy
Yeah.
bunny outfit. Because you can fuck your whole shit up. Because if you walk out there with the big black eyes, people will just think like they're in a horror movie or something, and they'll start running.
I guess so. You got to do it. You got to do it the right way. You got to like set up a table or some shit at the end of a cul-de-sac and be like, "I'm a normalized bunny, and I'm gonna be here all day to take pictures and not be creepy about that shit."
Yeah. So here's my question for you, because I was debating this a couple weeks ago, and I don't even know exactly what I think about it, but somebody I was talking to said they think that like juveniles, so like underage people, minors,
Not the rapper.
not the rapper, should be tried in court and like they're adults. They should be treated like they're adults in the criminal justice system. And this is somebody who likes to listen to like a lot of the true crime shit, like the true crime stories, like listens to some podcast on that. And then we were going back and forth on it. What do you think about that? You think that, so like, let's say a 13 or 14-year-old commits some like crazy ass murder. What do you think? Because the way I think juvenile detention, obviously the sentences are a lot lighter.
Yeah, of course.
Because they say, look, you're not grown yet, your brain's not fully formed, you don't really understand the consequences of your actions in any serious way.
Yeah.
Like, you don't deserve to go away like for really long because of that.
Yeah, I kind of side on the like up until 18 or some shit. You're a juvenile, and that I think you still have to be on some like watch list type shit where at like 35 they reevaluate you and bring you back in to make sure you're doing all right. But like, yeah, anybody under like 25 or some shit doesn't, well, not 25. Yeah, like 18, 17. I don't really think they have a like understand the magnitude of some shit that they're doing.
So think back to when we were that age though. Like, I feel like, I mean, it's hard, right? Because on the one hand, you want to assess the crime based on the damage it does to the victim, right?
Yeah.
Like even if somebody's like 10 and they murder somebody with a gun, it's like, unless it's a situation where like you're trying to protect a parent, or you know what I'm saying? Like if you actually murdered somebody, it's like, I get the logic of saying don't treat them like they're adults, but at the same time, like they're definitely fucking like 15-year-olds
that know what the fuck they're doing.
Adult as fuck. So it's like,
they should put them in some other type of jail shit that like.
That's what they do.
Yeah, but like, that's a little bit more fun than just regular jail. Like you could occasionally go to like a sporting, like you get like 4 basketball games in like 30 years that you could go to or some shit. So like you kind of still get to have a little bit of a childhood, but you're still kind of like, we don't fuck with you. And you have to sit in like the top row of an arena or some shit.
Well, that's what, our criminal justice system is super harsh compared to other countries. Like there's some countries that don't even have an extradition treaty with us because our jails are so vicious.
Yeah.
That they're like, we can't let you go there because it's like torture to just be in a U.S. prison. Like I remember Michael Moore did some documentary thing where he talked about this, or a show where he talked about this, and he went to like prison in like Norway or something like that, and
They were probably chilling.
yeah, they were sort of like almost like they're at college or something. Like they have a room that's bigger than a prison in the US. Like like you got like a video game and you got a TV, and then you're allowed out of your cell, and you could like wander around the grounds and like go hang out by a lake, and you could work out and like all this shit. And when I was looking, I was like, damn, this seems lenient as fuck. But then on the other hand, like they have a much lower recidivism rate. So like when people get out of prison, they don't commit crimes again. Like they're like flat out reformed. And so I don't know, maybe they do it the right way. But part of me also looks at that and says, I don't know, it seems like too lenient in some respects, like there's no real punishment for the crime. So I don't know. I've always been sort of mixed on this question, but I think US prisons are too harsh. I think that's obvious. But I think that maybe they're a little too lenient, but they have the results to show for it. So I don't know. It's a tough question.
Too harsh, because there was a TV show I saw, or it was one of those HBO things, The Night Of, which was a banger. If you haven't seen that shit, it was mad good. And the guy was like a cab driver who worked his ass off, and at the end got sent to prison. And like it just showed his whole character development in prison of like getting fucked up with gangs and like, all the shit going on there, that when he left prison, then he was involved with gangs and drugs and all this shit. But there's probably so many stories that we don't even hear about of like, I just heard recently there was, I think it was Wisconsin, like an all women's prison, and like the prison guard was like raping one of the inmates or something who was like pregnant or some shit like that. You don't even hear about. That's like
it's a mess,
with
man.
the power taking advantage of like the inmates, or doing some fucked up shit to get them cigarettes and weird shit going on like that. That's all messed up. Like our whole prison system is so probably messed up. Like I don't even want to know what goes on, which is messed up. And then on the flip side, all the people that haven't done bad things, that don't get retrialed or just in prison, for shit they didn't do.
Yeah, no, it's bad. The Innocence Project works on like trying to get people out who are not guilty, and like there's a lot of people who go to prison, they're not guilty because a lot of times cops just want a fall person for the shit, and they and they'll get a fall person for it, and they'll cut these brutal deals with them and be like, if you don't take the deal, then you're going to get even more time. And then they take the deal, even though they didn't do the fucking crime. And so that happens. But yeah, I remember reading an article about what it was like in a prison during like the height of COVID, when there was a big COVID outbreak.
Oh,
and like they didn't help people at all. Like they were just fucked. And oftentimes the guards are in on the abuse on the prisoners. And yeah, no, it's bad. Like I would trade our system for the Norwegian system in a minute, but I still don't know. Like somebody made a good point in the Michael Moore shit. They were like, because he was asking him like, you think maybe like this is a little too lenient for you guys? And the dude was like, at the end of the day, I can't leave here, and I still know it's a jail. And I was like, that's a good ass point, because
it's like people trapped in like the communities they're from. It's like even just like us, there's like people like that haven't done shit in their life and still live like at home, just because they can't leave like their state or something like that, like, and so it's like, you just become like our boy Vinny. Like I love him, but like he'll always just be playing softball in New Rochelle. Like it's shit that like, it's kind of sad when like people just adapt to like their prison environment and just will stay there forever. So I don't know. I mean, like,
well,
it's
that's
like
one of the problems that our prisons create. People just become pros at being criminals after they go to prison. Like it just makes them harder, and that's what I'm saying. It doesn't rehabilitate when we're here. It's just like, because somebody was on Rogan recently who was talking about, he had gone to prison and he was telling his story. It was just a nightmare. It was like fighting all the time. There are all these rules too about like, the white people need to stay with the white people. The Mexicans need to stay with the Mexicans. The black people need to stay with the black people. And then everybody else, every other category needs to stay with themselves. And then he says, whenever there's like a big fight that breaks out, there are alliances. So like the whites and the Mexicans team up.
Oh, damn.
And black people and everybody else team up. And he was talking about how there's all these rules that you don't know about. And if you go into prison and you're a white dude and then you sit down with like a black person at lunch or whatever, and the white people find out, they're going to fuck you up after that.
Damn.
He was telling a story like when he got in, some black dude was like, who wants to play chess with me? Who wants to play chess? And he was like, I'll play chess. He was brand new to the prison. And he sat down and played chess with him. He didn't realize now all the white people fucked him up.
Damn.
Yeah, because they were like, you broke the rule. Like the rule is you're not allowed to talk to them. And their rules in different states have different rules, like who you can even do business with and do commerce with and trade with and shit. Like, and if you do the wrong thing and nobody tells you what to do when you get in, like you have to learn that shit. And so it's brutal, man. It's like it's as bad as it gets.
Yeah, that's why I think I mean, even if a kid does some crazy bad shit, like there's got to be some way for them to redeem themselves, because it's like, I don't know, they just have so much life to change as a person that.
So what should that line be? What age is it like? All right, from here on out, now you're an adult.
I feel like 15 or some shit. It's probably
yes.
Like
I always said 16, but I think it should be 16 for everything.
Yeah.
I think it should be, you can smoke, you can drink, you could join the military. 16, 17, or 18 is the realm that I think makes sense. So like one of those numbers. I think 21 is too old. You know, like somebody who's 20 knows what the fuck they're doing. You know?
Yeah.
But you could also argue the flip side that everybody's an idiot even until they're like 30, you know? But it's like, you're allowed to be an idiot and still be an adult. The question is like, are you an adult yet? Like, Are you enough of an adult to be able to make your decisions, you know?
No, definitely not. Yeah, I don't know. Prison is a weird one. It's like Jeffrey Ross went to a prison once and did comedy shit, and it kind of was like weird and scary.
I watched that. Yeah, I remember that.
But yeah, I don't know. I could see that there's kind of just there's definitely rules and shit that you have to abide by. And I would, if I was in prison, like the first day, I would just see someone that seems nice and be like, be a black dude that I want to sit with, and I would just fuck up the whole jail system.
Yeah, nah, we wouldn't last a day in that shit. That's
I'd be like, yo, what's up? I know you from somewhere. They'd be like, oh, I be getting my ass beat every day.
Some dude with a swastika comes up behind you immediately. You're like, no.
Just 'cause I'm like capping up everybody. I'm like, yo, I know him though. We went to high school. It's like, no, you can't even say what's up to him though.
All right, so here's one other question. I think this is a good one. I think I know what your answer is going to be, but I think this is a good one. It's certainly debatable. Would you want to live forever?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. Yes. Is that what you think I would have said?
Yeah, I was going to guess you'd say yeah.
I think I want to live forever. I think that's kind of dope. I don't want to like die.
So here's the downside though. Here's the downside.
But what age do I stay when I live forever?
That's a good question.
Like, am I 197 and like I'm just like a?
Yeah, no, I'm not gonna make it torture. I'm not gonna make it so that like you can't fucking walk or talk or like, you know what I'm saying?
Why not?
I'll say you're stuck at like 60.
Oh hell yeah!
Yeah,
hell yeah! Anyone who says no to that shit is lying.
So here are the downsides though. You're gonna see everything fall apart. Like shit, the world is gonna end at some point. You're gonna be able to witness the apocalypse.
Yeah, but if I'm not dying, I'm like chilling. I got in a fucking lawn chair and I'm posted up with like a half lemonade, half iced tea, watching that.
Dog, who makes the half lemonade, half iced tea? Everybody else is dead. Like you're gonna have to learn how to hunt and fish. And
I would find the Arizona factory and just like before the world's going down, I would find the one dude. I'm like, yo, how do I make the Arnold Palmer shit? And he's like, oh, easy. You just put this shit, push this button, and I will make sure that machine never broke.
Low key, I need to pull. I should have pulled beforehand. I should have pulled the. I forgot to pull
Arnold Palmer the most banging drink of all time? Yes,
it's definitely the most. I'm not talking about Arnold Palmer. I'm talking about the would you want to live forever is the thing I want to pull, not the Arnold Palmer shit.
But
everybody knows
that's got to be like I like vanilla Coke. But the concoction of an Arnold Palmer has to be the greatest drink of all time. Is there anything better?
It's brilliant. No, it's brilliant. But I will say, so
Shirley Temple's up there.
Shirley Temple's banging too. The way they do an Arnold Palmer, it's not half lemonade, half iced tea.
What do you mean?
It's not that, because I remember reading the ingredients one time and I was like, oh, I thought this shit was half and half. It's not half and half. Hold up, let me tell you right now.
This is a poll you should do. Cream soda, Shirley Temple, Arnold Palmer, and then like we got to find a fourth drink.
I'm not going to do it now because it's too late. We won't be able to get the results. But remember that. Write that down for the next episode.
That I mean, like those four are like next level.
So Arnold Palmer is a non-alcoholic beverage that combines iced tea and lemonade. The name refers to the professional American golfer Arnold Palmer. Winnie Palmer drink uses sweet tea with lemonade instead of unsweetened tea. Winnie is named after Arnold Palmer. An alcoholic version of the beverage is known as the John Daly. That's funny.
What's the alcoholic version? What did I say? Cream soda, Arnold Palmer, vanilla Coke? No, Shirley Temple.
Oh, it is half and half. Okay. I thought it was like 3/4 iced tea, 1/4 lemonade.
Oh,
that's what I thought it was, but it's not.
I always knew that shit was like
Yeah, I always thought it was half and half, but I feel like I have a false memory now of like reading the ingredients and being like, I thought this shit was half and half, and I remember it not being half and half, but it says it is. So, but yeah, no, that drink is that's a banging drink. Even just the idea of it is brilliant. You know, it's like
and
it's
like dark and light.
Mind.
Like there's so many like shit that goes with it.
You blew my mind when I saw you putting fries on a burger. I was like, dog, you're a genius. Like, this is amazing. Like, why didn't I think of this before?
Next level.
I felt the same shit when I saw Arnold Palmer. I was like, why did this shit not exist forever?
Did you know that Jed wanted me to tell you this? Did you know that Arby's is called Arby's because of like Arby's is like roast beef, and then they just made the name like Arby's?
What?
Yeah, like Arby's.
I did not know that.
Yeah. I don't know. I think they just like made the name Arby's. But then I said to Jed, I was like, it is kind of a dumb name because then the shit should just be called like Arby's apostrophe S, like Arby's.
Nah, but it's cooler writing out Arby's.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Even though like ARBY has nothing to do with RB's.
If it was just R and a B,
yeah,
and you told me like that stands for roast beef, I'd be like, okay.
Oh, so you like the fact that like,
but I like the
Arby's...
fact that I just had a light bulb moment, like, oh, you spell, oh, I think they freaked it. Look, man, I want to issue a public apology to Arby's right now, because I used to OD make fun of them and rip on them because their name sounds buns and like, and they got like, I always used to like, whenever I was making a joke about some shit, I'd be like, it's like getting caught doing crack behind a dumpster at an Arby's. Like I would say some shit like that. But I want to issue a public apology to Arby's because when I first tried them, I was like, I slandered you for far too long.
Well, you got roast beef from there?
No.
Oh,
I get the roast beef. A roast beef. Look, I'm
okay. I might try the roast beef. Like their shit is called Arby's. That's like, you know, you have to fucking get the roast beef.
I'm sort of skeptical on roast beef in general. Like, I'm not really a roast beef guy. If I ever have a roast beef sandwich, it's like at a top-notch deli. Yeah. And I have 7 people who told me it's banging, you should try it. Like, that's how I am with it, because it's sketchy. Sometimes it's hit or miss, man. Like, you could miss big with roast beef. So the idea of getting roast beef at like a fast food place, I'm like, eh.
Yeah.
But when I had their fries and their chicken tenders, oh my God.
For real?
Oh, they were.
What kind of fries do they have? Crinkle cut?
I think they were crinkle cut.
Yeah, I think they do have crinkle.
And
I don't think I've ever been to an Arby's, but like kind of just fuck Arby's because they are still there,
dog,
without justifiably like having the right to be there.
Dog, you got to walk into the light, dog, because you are where I was. Like,
I'm gonna get the boneless shit. I'm gonna do a video on the boneless shit because it looks banging.
But do me a favor, also get the fries and also get some chicken tenders.
Well, the chicken is the get some separate
chicken tenders. Okay. Yeah, because I can't swear by whatever sauce is going on those boneless.
Yeah,
I can't swear by that shit. So you might take one bite of the boneless and be like, you know what? 4 out of 10.
Yeah.
Then I'll be heartbroken. You got to get the regular and get some ketchup with it.
Just try it standalone.
Like you got a fail safe and you got an insurance policy that's going to guarantee you an enjoyable meal if you do it that way.
I'm almost curious to try the roast beef though, and that's bold.
You could do that, but you got to do 2 separate.
I'm gonna do it 2 separate times. But it's almost like Burger King's burger isn't bad. Their shit is called Burger King.
True. That's true.
Like Arby's can't have this chain of restaurants that's nationwide
If their
And not
roast
have
beef
some
is
roast
whack.
beef is kind of like banging.
I will say though, Crystal's oldest daughter told me like one time she had a roast beef sandwich from Arby's and
She
she
was
got
whack.
sick from that shit.
Oh,
So, and that again, that adds to my. I'm telling you, roast beef's a tricky thing, man. Roast beef
yeah.
is a tricky thing.
Like
Like,
the cons weigh out the fucking pros by a million miles.
like if you have a good roast beef sandwich, you're like, it's pretty good. But if you have a bad roast beef sandwich,
You're on the
you're like,
toilet for 27 like days straight.
and it could just be buns taste. Like there's some roast beef sandwiches that are just
Yeah.
like, bleh.
But it's not like you could just have a meh. Like there's a meh plus you were shitting out for like 2 hours straight. Like there's always a downside. There's never just like I don't think I had a bad roast beef sandwich.
Right.
It's like I had a
That's
bad
right.
risotto sandwich and that shit put me out for 3 weeks.
That's right. But if you get the chicken fingers, you'll be like, oh my god.
But the picture of the fucking honey barbecue and the buffalo shit with the fries.
Look, okay.
Arby's coming innovative.
I think you're gonna enjoy the boneless because you're a boneless dude. Like you
I'm
like
a boneless dude. It's like really growing up on my like favorite food scale.
oh, you've always loved them though. If it wasn't on the scale before, you just didn't think hard enough about it because I could have put that if I had to make a list of your top 10 shits, it was going on the top 10.
Yeah.
There's
And it's
you
always
love nothing
pricey
more-
though, because like Buffalo Wild Wings has it, but it's like you got to wait a half an hour to get them. The fact that I can get it like just through a drive-through now, it could be like an all-time game changer.
Is there Arby's near you?
Yeah, like right down the shit from me.
Oh, you're good. You're good. Arby's is gonna be your friend. I'm telling you. Arby's.
I think so.
I've never swung so hard. I never had to admit I was wrong so quickly.
I'm not gonna even if I fuck with Arby's, I would never say I fuck with Arby's just because that shit looks like you got to be driving some pickup truck, like
It looks like it
muddy
shouldn't
ass
exist.
boots.
It looks like you're supposed to make fun of it. Like they basically want everybody to make fun of them.
Yeah,
Like that's the sense I get from Arby's. You know?
I think
but
I got
like-
too much pride. Like I give you props because I think I would have too much pride to come out and be like, "Yo, shout out to Arby's."
I'm telling you, man.
You
Because I
know?
used to have this debate with Crystal. I used to be like, she would be like, I'm telling you, Arby's is not bad. And I'd be like, fuck Arby's. Like, how you going to have a fast food chain and have roast beef be your shit? Like, what the fuck is that?
Their
Who
logo's
does
all like
that?
all outdated and shit. Like it's red and like
Yeah.
that shit looks like it's been there for like
Since 1984. Like,
yeah.
yeah. Never cleaned it. Like, all those things. I used to say that. And she was like, I'm telling you, and I would never believe her. And the first time we went to Arby's, like it was one of those things where she was like, we were driving, we were on a trip, and she was like, oh, there's Arby's, like we're gonna go there because like we were hungry, and I wanted to even be like,
Let's find the next
like
shit.
I don't want to risk it. Like
Yeah.
I'm hungry. I don't want to fucking eat this and be like, ugh. But she went in, she made the order, she came out, was like,
Try that shit.
and as soon as I took a bite, I was like,
I'm giving them
I'm
a chance. I'm giving them a chance. But like I'm not gonna unless that shit blows me away. Like that shit isn't gonna I'll show a little love, but I'm not gonna OD on them.
dog, just go in. Look, I can't say anything because I was literally 100% like you going into my Arby's experience. But I would just say go in with an open mind and see what happens.
I'm gonna shit on one other spot too that I feel like the whole world fucks with this place.
Hit me.
Dairy Queen.
I don't even think I've ever had it.
That's what I'm saying. Like I think I've been there, but I also don't think I've been there. But it's kind of very popular in like the Midwest and like just everywhere.
They're everywhere in the Midwest.
They're everywhere, but it's not good. Like people are like Dairy Queen. I'm like, no. Like that shit just is not like they don't even have ice cream. Like they make the blizzards
Wait,
thing.
what? Wait. They don't have ice cream?
Not like hard ice cream. I think their shit.
Stop it.
And
No
I think
way.
I don't think you're gonna agree with me on this one. But one shit that's maybe one of the most overrated like dessert type shits in the world is that blizzard type shit.
I don't know if I've ever had that shit.
Oh, you never? No, I've definitely been with you at McDonald's. You've ordered like a M&M Blizzard or something like that.
Oh, you mean the McFlurry?
Is I feel like
McFlurry
a
is dead.
Blizzard is separate. Like McFlurry kind of is okay because
Is it
it's
like
their
slushy?
soft ice cream.
Is it like slushy?
Yeah, like it's soft, like ice creamy yogurt shit mixed with like Reese's and Oreos together.
I've had a McFlurry. I don't know if I've had a Blizzard.
Okay, so yeah, so then maybe you side with me, but like Blizzards are overrated, and that's like what Dairy Queen has is like these Blizzardy drinks. Not even like a drink; it's like you scoop it. It like I feel like people aren't gonna fuck with me on my Dairy Queen comment, but if you're a true OG, you know that Dairy Queen's kind of whack, and Baskin Robbins shits on them like a motherfucker.
You know, you're gonna get a lot of Baskin Robbins hate because they sell the regular ice cream.
Yeah,
like they don't even have the soft serve shit.
They don't have the soft serve, but I'm an OG. Like ice cream is how you should make a milkshake. All that Blizzard, all that like no.
Yeah, but like Carvel soft serve ice cream versus any Baskin Robbins ice cream, like Carvel's gonna blow that shit out of the water. Carvel soft serve versus some Baskin Robbins regular ass ice cream, that shit you could get if you just go to like the grocery store.
Well, Carvel soft serve is very good, but there's also a time and a place for like a nice ice cream cone, where like pause, you have like two balls like that you just like licking.
By the way, fact check, they do serve ice cream at Dairy Queen.
Like hard ice cream?
DQ hot fudge sundae.
Nah.
I'm
but not with hard ice cream.
Menu.
But is there a picture of it?
It's not loading for me, but they have it. They have it. Vanilla cone, chocolate dipped cone. They have it.
But I think it's all soft serve.
Yeah, but what's wrong with dog? Soft serve is the shit. Soft serve is delicious.
I don't think they have. No, but like I like the option. Oh wait, maybe they do have.
Yeah, they got ice cream. I'm looking at it right now on the menu. I'm looking at the list of it.
All right, whatever. Fuck Dairy Queen. Like they just put that shit in right now because they heard me. Like it was on a Facebook page. Someone just started that Facebook page right now.
So they got
I think they do also sell like chicken fingers and stuff too, though, at Dairy Queen.
Yeah,
like
burgers and sandwiches, chicken strip baskets, pretzel sticks with queso dip.
But it's just to me a fake ass Carvel, and if you haven't had Carvel, there's no like Dairy Queen is just like a hood Carvel.
I think Carvel is only in like the Northeast, right? Aren't there not many elsewhere?
There may have been some like out west or some shit, but it's not like Dairy Queen where that shit is every. But there's not a lot of Dairy Queens in New York.
Yeah. I don't think I ever see them in New York.
Yeah, but I'm just super down on Dairy Queen. I just feel like I've had shit from there before, and it's kind of like meh.
Oh, did I tell you I tried Sonic for the first time?
Oh, did you like it?
Yeah, it wasn't bad. It wasn't bad.
Did you get a burger?
I got a burger, and I got mozzarella sticks.
Were you overwhelmed? I feel like their menu is kind of like.
Yes, I was overwhelmed. I pulled up. I was a little bit like,
It's because you like pull up and you got to order from like your spot, right? Like it's not like you walk in.
I could have done that, but the one I was at had a drive-through also, and I just went
okay.
Yeah, and so I got a burger. Burger was pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
And the mozzarella sticks were good, but they were a little bit like they didn't heat them enough type stuff. But
yeah, that'll throw them off.
Yeah, so I'll give them like a C+, and I'll give them another shot. They weren't bad.
Yeah, Sonic, I think I had the opposite where I like pulled into like one of their spots.
Right. Yeah.
And had like to like look at the menu board and like order through like a PA system, and then someone brought me my shit, and it kind of was like a lot of emotions running through me at the time just because it's like the commercial and the guy's eating mad shit and like am I ordering the right thing? They got all like the colorful like ass drinks. So you're like, dog, I could really fuck this up.
I'm sorry, that's the brilliance of Five Guys. Is the simplicity.
Yeah.
Oh, In and Out too. Just super simple.
Yep.
You know what you're getting.
Yeah. Sonic, I think that's why I'll just pull into Sonic and go through their drive-through because it's like it's like solving a math equation. Like you're like, they have a hot dog with like freaking French fries and jizz and like this like whites, like all this crazy shit on it. And then burgers and chicken, and you're like, I could really fuck up this order right now.
See, that was the biggest problem. You're right. That was the biggest problem with Sonic is that even after I ordered, I was only like 57% sure I did the right order. You know?
Yep.
I was like, I needed like a good 7 minutes to sit there and go through it and be like, what do
And
I really want?
there's so much other shit on the menu that when you leave, you're like, I probably could have got that shit.
Yeah, because I also sort of low-key thought my burger would come with fries and get the mozzarella sticks, and it didn't come with fries.
Yeah.
And I was like, I sort of fucked up a little bit, didn't I?
You've
So I
never
still-
had Culver's, right? Because Culver's is a big one out here.
No.
And the burger's banging. I got a friend from Wisconsin who is like, Culver's is the best burger ever. It's a good burger. And they're kind of smart about how they do it because they call it a butter burger. So just by calling it a butter burger kind of like elevates it within itself.
Yeah, it's sort of like buttermilk chicken sandwich. Sort of like when they say that shit. Yeah.
It's over. Like it's over.
Yeah. Yeah, it's brilliant.
So it's a good burger, but it's not better than any of the Five Guys, Shake Shack, or In-N-Out for that.
Yeah, at first I used to say In-N-Out was below Five Guys a decent amount, but the more I've eaten of both, the more I actually feel like they're tied.
Yeah. And we had Whataburger in Texas, and that shit was hot garbage.
Did I have? I didn't have it. You had it. I didn't have it.
No, you had it too.
Oh, did I have it?
Yeah, we both had it.
Oh, okay. I literally, again, this is the memory.
You
thing.
got
I
one
have
for
zero
Crystal
memory.
too, and that shit was like in the car since '88, and she was on some G shit where she was like, "I don't care, I'll still eat that shit."
Oh, she's like that with food. She doesn't. She. I'm the opposite. If I feel like there's even a 2% chance something might be suspect, I'm like, I'm good. She's like,
she was
is
like,
there
"No,
mold
I'm good."
growing on it? No, I'm good. Give me that shit.
Yeah, no, and Whataburger was whack. But yeah, we went into Whataburger, and I think we might even done a drive-through one too.
Yeah, remember when we had that? What was it? An Uber driver who was like a historian on the burgers. Remember that shit?
Oh my God, that was in Nashville.
That was in Nashville. Dude was like, well, I went to the one over on 17th Street and they was out of the sauce, but then I got the sauce from the one on Maple Avenue, and what we found out is that they was running low on the buns, but they brought
he was talking about the buns.
And so now we know by Tuesday they're gonna have the. You and I were sitting there like, yo,
He was like, "Did you
you're
know
our best
that
friend?"
The bun factory is one of the largest In-N-Out bun factories here in Nashville." I was like, "Yo, you know too much about these damn buns."
Yeah, he was like heavy too. He like eats at least 2 of those a day.
He definitely watched Dogs with Channing Tatum though.
And he was sitting next to that woman who was like, "Oh my God, Channing."
Yo, telling you, that motherfucker is gonna crush it with that movie. It's genius. It's genius.
Hey, they're already doing well. They're already doing well.
I might watch it.
It's so funny. You were ranting about a movie Dogs that was literally already in theaters.
That's what I'm saying. Like but I definitely didn't ever see advertising.
Yeah,
for
but
Channing
it could have
Tatum
been
in the movie.
subliminal. Like it could have been subconscious. Like you didn't even realize. It's like you saying the thing with the Whataburger thing right now. Like I genuinely don't remember that shit.
See, my memory is kind of crazy where I even remember turning into the Whataburger lot and like a car coming and you were driving and we're like, "Oh shit," like the car was like
Oh, well, that's a good reason to remember it.
But it was like in a blind spot or something. But like I remember, like I'll take it back to that.
Yeah, well,
but I can't remember like really anything else from that shit.
Well, yeah, well, you remember that part because you were thinking, "Oh, we might crash," like that's
Yeah,
why
I
you remember
guess.
that shit. I don't remember that though.
Yeah.
When I was a kid, my memory was so on point. Like I remembered everything in my life up until like age 14, and then once age 15 hit, my whole shit was just like, it was just I can't remember anything now. It's amazing. Like I'm lying. I'm good at remembering.
You remember shit
for my show, like
Yeah.
for like politics shit, things I need to know. But like for my life, I don't remember shit.
Yeah, I have a bad memory now. Like Molly will ask me to do like I don't know, the easiest shit. Like, "Hey, pass me that fork over there," and I'll walk over to where the shit is at, and I'll be like, "What? Why am I standing here again?" Like to a point where I'm questioning, like I'm gonna have really bad dementia when I'm old, and I kind of
me too.
But I always think like there was a Mets pitcher, I think it was Tom Seaver, like had dementia, like and then passed away. And I kind of was like, how the fuck do you forget like who your daughter is or some shit like that? And I'm like, if I forget why the fuck I walked over to get a fork and you just told me that shit like literally a half a second ago, I'm definitely forgetting who my daughters are when I'm like 75 years old.
Yeah, when I'm the same as you. Like when I was younger, if I saw some shit like that, I'd be like, "Stop it."
Yeah,
Come on.
like how do you forget your wife?
But now, I could see any of that.
That's kind of sad. Like that to me is the scariest shit. Like I think they said like they put Tom Seaver down, or like his dementia was so bad that like they kind of just had to let him go. Like if I can't, like if me and you are boys till we're 75 and like we were friends up until 74, but at 75, I'm like, I don't know who you are anymore. Like just please, just like do some shit that I'm not on this planet anymore, because that's just like some sad shit, you know? Like that's got to be the worst way to go out, is just like you can't remember someone you've known for fucking 74 years.
Yeah, no,
right?
It's bad. That's bad.
Like, is there a worse way to go out? There's probably is. Like burning on fire or some shit.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to die in a fire, plane crash, like none of that shit, you know?
Yeah, I guess. Dementia's probably not like on the top 10 of like ways to go out, but it's sad.
It's just
it's
like,
a sad way.
How do you live? Like, how do you live if you can't, like, if you don't remember anybody at all? Like, obviously you can't take care of your finances and shit. Like, you can't do anything, you know?
I wonder if you could still live.
You need 24/7 care and somebody who actually cares trying to help you, you know? And even then you'd feel terrible because you're like, I'm wasting this person's everything, you know?
Yeah, but at what point do you need to remember, like, is it like, do you forget how to go to the bathroom? Do you forget how to like make a sandwich? You know, like there's probably levels to this shit, right?
With stuff like that, I feel like it's more their physical barriers. Like when people get really old and their bodies break down.
Yeah.
It's like you physically can't get up, you know, stuff like that, where you're like bedridden or you fall all the time if you try to get from point A to point B.
Yeah,
getting old is rough. Like I feel like we don't think about it, just like we don't think about death a lot in the US. Like we don't think about that shit a lot. But
you know who looks old? Who I just saw that kind of made me feel like, damn. I saw Tom Hanks threw out the first pitch at a Cleveland Guardians. They used to be the Cleveland Indians. He threw out a pitch, and I was like, he looks old.
Tom Hanks, 2022. Let me look.
And it kind of like made me feel a little sad. I was like, he kind of aged pretty bad.
I see the exact thing you're talking about. Yeah.
Doesn't he look old?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Whereas like I look at Jim Carrey and I'm like, he doesn't really look old.
Yeah, he looks.
But Tom Hanks looks like he like really got old.
Keanu Reeves has not aged a day in like 20 years.
Yeah, he's. I feel like Pauly Shore is the same way with that one, where he always like just looks like a kid.
Yeah, Keanu Reeves hasn't aged a day. It's amazing.
But Tom Hanks, I was like, damn, like his arms look old, like his like neck and head looks old.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, aging's a bitch, man. Aging is a bitch. Bill Maher is like sort of obsessed with the issue of aging now because he's getting old, and so now he's like clearly thinking about it more.
Yeah,
it's not a good look when you're like obsessed with it like he is. That's not a good look, you know.
Yeah, because then it looks like you're like trying too hard to be young.
It's just desperate. Like it's desperate. It seems like he's trying to hang on to it with everything he can, and it's like you're gonna lose that battle. Everybody loses that battle, you know.
Yeah.
Like there's something to be said about the real acceptance of it, you know.
I just thought about, I don't know when I thought about it, but it was like maybe a week ago. But I was driving, I was like, I hope I never have like a midlife crisis where I like want to buy a motorcycle.
I asked people because I put the earring back in, and I tweeted like, "Is this a midlife crisis? Putting my earring back in?"
I don't think so.
And to my surprise, the overwhelming reaction was like, "No."
Yeah, that's not, because like we had our ears pierced, and like if the hole is still there, that's kind of like the universe telling you like you're good, put it back in.
Yeah, I agree with that.
But if if you pulled up to like icing or Claire's and got that shit re-pierced,
then
I think that's on some midlife crisis shit.
Right. So, but what else though? Like, what else would be a midlife crisis sign? Like, if I were to get like a sports car, would that be midlife crisis? But I sort of have a pass on that too, because my car before this one was a 04 Mustang.
Yeah.
Like, if I were to get another sports car, the Mustang's long gone. But if I were to get a sports car, then that would be me being like, I'm just getting the car that I used to like. I drove a Mustang for a while. Like, I just like the car, you know.
Yeah. I'm trying to think for you, because it's like you've done stuff that you always just like. So even if like I watched the live shit with you, Crystal,
Mm-hmm.
Sagar and that other dude, and Crystal had like some sneakers on, and people were like, I think Sagar said some shit like, people are fucking with your sneakers.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Like seeing you do something that like you don't typically do, people could be like, oh, that's some midlife crisis shit. But like, you've like always worn some sneakers shit. Like when I gave you the Iversons, like you would wear shits you like, but since you don't do it often, and you came back out with some sneakers, like some G shit, people will be like, oh, he's trying to wear some sneakers. But like in reality, you really used to wear some sneakers shit.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I think people would give me a pass if I wore sneakers. They wouldn't say that's a midlife crisis.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So it'd have to be some like obscure shit that like you've never even spoken about or done before. Like if you were like, hey guys, I'm picking up surfing. The people would be like, that's actually, I don't know. I mean, like, they might just be like, oh, like he's interested in surfing.
I said to Crystal the other day, I was joking. I was like, I'm going to dye my hair blonde. And she was like, no. She was like, literally no. Like, no, don't. Are you crazy? Don't do that.
That would be some Justin Bieber, like, crazy stage shit. If you came out with some straight blonde shit.
That's a midlife crisis, isn't it? Wouldn't that be a midlife crisis?
I don't think it'd be midlife crisis.
I'm too old for the crazy phase. I already did that shit. Like I already had my crazy phase, you know?
I think a crazy phase can still come. Like I'm ready for a crazy phase right now.
Oh, so you're open to like that's not age dependent.
Yeah. Crazy phase I think can come at any point in life.
Okay. I always just assumed it was more like at a certain age. No,
I think crazy phase can come. I mean, like, well, yeah, Britney Spears was at a certain age when she like shaved her head and shit like that.
Yeah, and Miley Cyrus when she was acting all wacky.
Same age, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. Fucking. Were you actually thinking about that, or
no,
you were just fucking?
I was joking. But I was curious what I would have looked like with the.
There's got to be like a blonde my hair app or some shit like that.
There has to be, yeah. But I was always curious what I'd look like with the obnoxious blonde hair. You know?
Like the blonde shit. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. I was always curious what I'd look like with that shit.
I think highlights are coming back. I saw somebody had the dude I like from he was on The Walking Dead.
That's not midlife crisis. That's doable.
Highlights. No, no, he pulled it off. It was this Shane. I don't know his real.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that dude. I know who you're talking about.
And like he had a good soundbite of like where we are as a nation today. I was like, this guy is sexy as fuck. But like he had like orange tips in his hair and was he was talking to the guy who does the Hot Wing show. You ever watched that?
No, I never watched that before.
Look up what Shane from The Walking Dead's name is, and then find the picture of him talking to the guy. I think it's called Hot Ones.
Walking Dead, John Bernthal? Is that it? John Bern?
Maybe sounds familiar, yeah. And then type in John Bernthal Hot Ones. I don't watch the show, but I think they just sit over some chicken wings and they eat like hot ass chicken wings.
Yep.
Ask them questions.
I see it.
This shit's like orangey, right?
Yeah, he definitely did like
the tips.
Yeah, it's like a honey brown type.
But he kind of pulls it off, right?
Yeah, no, it doesn't look bad.
Yeah, I like that guy.
It doesn't look bad at all.
He left The Walking Dead to do other movies, but I've never really seen him in some other movies.
Oh, he's in a huge show. I think it's what's it called, like The Punisher or some shit.
Oh yeah, he might have done some like Marvel-y shit.
And he was in Wolf of Wall Street.
Oh, he was in Wolf of Wall Street?
Yeah, back in the day, he was in Wolf of Wall Street.
Oh, I didn't know that.
He's actually been in a number of movies, yeah. But I knew him most from The Walking Dead too.
Yeah, that's why I was like, they cut him out of season 1 or season 2 whenever he left, because he wanted to pursue movies.
Yeah.
It's finally the last season of The Walking Dead, and I have no idea what the fuck is happening.
Oh, I hung on for like 6 seasons, and then I was like, I can't do this anymore.
I think I tuned into it at one point, like just the middle of the episode as I was scrolling through the TV, and it was like a bunch of shooting and characters that like I had no idea who they were, and I was just like, how are people still watching this shit?
Yeah, nah, sort of fuck them for not staying true to the original mission, you know?
Yeah.
They sort of fucked it up. It was like I was hanging on for so long, even after everybody I knew was like, it sort of turned whack. And I was like, yeah, it's kind of whack, but I still got strands of hope. And then eventually it was like when they pulled that shit with Rick, where like he's dead, but he's not dead. Or I was like, what the fuck is this?
And then they had the Fear of the Walking Dead. You know, like that was going on simultaneously.
My embarrassing admission is I watched the first season of that shit too. Like I was in, dog. I was in for the shit. I watched like the first season, maybe even the second season of Fear the Walking Dead. But
Damn.
then when they really lost me was on the Rick shit. He's dead, but he's not dead. I was
Is that
like,
what happened? Like he died and then they were like,
yeah,
but not really dead?
like he died in the show and he's off the show,
Yeah.
right? But they don't know that he actually survived, even though you think he's dead, and then he's going to do his own shit with a different show or something or movie or whatever. And I was like, what?
Yeah.
Nah. Nah.
I think I saw that too. Yeah, it
Yeah,
was like the main dude was like, kill me off the show because you guys aren't doing shit.
Mm-hmm.
And then there was enough time for him to be like, all right, just bring me back in this shit with some stupid ass storyline.
Yeah, what even ended up happening?
I have no idea.
Yeah, so I'm saying I don't know if he went and did a separate show or a separate movie or came
It
back.
should have been like 5 seasons, and the 5th season was just like, here's why the virus happened. This is what the outcome is going to be.
Yeah, they should have wrapped it up after like 5 seasons.
Oh,
that's right. That's what they should have done. And then you know what? If they did that, it would have been one of the greatest shows of all time.
Yeah.
People would be like, that's right up there with Breaking Bad and The Sopranos and fucking The Wire.
They used to be so good. I don't even know if they still do it, but like Chris Hardwick used to do the post shit after The Walking Dead that I would watch.
I watched that too. Yep.
But I think there was a point where probably he was even like, yo, like, come on, what are we doing here? Like, we're going to do this shit for 20 seasons?
Yeah, it's crazy, right? Because like it had a following, like a Star Wars loyal following. And then after a while, I feel like everybody in the shit was like, we're done. Because they had such high ratings and the shit had to fall off hard body, right?
Had to have. Dude, the Talking Dead used to be like the shit. Like, it used to be like, you would wait for that shit over and then it'd be like, watch for 40 minutes and we'll show you just like a 2-second clip from next week. And everybody would watch that whole shit for a 2-second clip. Like, that was dedication.
That was.
I wish everybody would be like, yo, you just gave us like a 2-second clip from next week's Kyle and Corin. Like, that would be like,
we should have a talking Kyle and Corin after this with somebody.
Yeah, yo, Sofa King. He watches Corin's World. If you want to do a talking Kyle and Corin,
somebody should do a talking Kyle and Corin. That would be a great idea. And then they could have like bets on shit. Like, how many times are they going to reference fast food?
Yeah.
In this episode,
I read some of the comments last week. If we had a shit counter in the side of our, I was like, this podcast is like the most versatile use of the word shit.
Yeah, I didn't even realize that we do that, but I'm not surprised that we do that. You know?
Oh man.
All right. On that note, let's wrap it up and go to bed. It's late here.
Yeah, I had a banging plate of Chinese food earlier today. Well, I got the Chinese food yesterday, but
finish your thing, and then I'll tell you about my Chinese food story.
I ordered the Chinese food Sunday night. Had a heated up plate today, and then I still got a little bit of leftovers for tonight. So it's just like
that's banging.
All around like NBA championship with the Chinese food plate.
I have the polar opposite story with Chinese food.
Oh damn! You're gonna tell me some shit that's gonna ruin my meal in a second?
No. It's not gonna ruin your meal. No. So I went on Uber Eats because I always use it, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I was looking for hibachi. I couldn't find hibachi on that shit. And I was like, I'm just going to get Chinese food. And so I got some Chinese food, ordered it. As soon as I ordered it, like I closed the app, I went back in it like 5 minutes later. And the shit said,
hibachi?
The name of the restaurant, they can't accept orders right now, order canceled. Right?
What?
And it was basically Uber Eats saying like the transaction didn't go through for whatever reason. They couldn't do it. Right?
That's annoying.
But then I get a text message on my shit, which is like, your food is being prepared, blah, blah, blah. Then I get a follow-up text message like, thank you for your business. Your order's now on the road.
Thank you for your service.
And so I was like, I'm 50-50 on whether or not I'm going to get my shit.
Because the app is still telling you the shit got canceled.
The app told me the shit was canceled within 5 minutes, and it was a wrap. Like it said, $0.00 transaction, shit canceled, blah, blah, blah. But then I got the text message that was like, we're making your shit, and your shit is on the road.
Damn.
Then that shit didn't come. And I was like, okay. So I had to order some shit way later, and I was starving, and I just settled.
Fuck them for not being in synchronized of like the text messaging to the cancellation.
Yeah, low key. it probably is the fault of the restaurant because I feel like the restaurant had their own process with how they do it,
Oh,
where like that's why they send the text messages. Like
yeah.
they sort of took over the shit. Maybe it was a way to try to cancel. It was like a $5 or $6 service fee or whatever. Maybe they're trying to like save money for their customers or some shit. I don't know. But either way, at some point, they felt like the order was canceled too, and they didn't fucking send it. And I was like, the
That's
fuck?
annoying, yeah, because like you're kind of like, should I order some other shit? And then if
That's
you order 2 shits,
that's why it was so fucking annoying because I'm sitting there like, how long should I give it? And I
damn.
gave it like a solid hour, dog. I was like, I'm gonna see. I'm gonna see. Because I kept going back and forth, like, nah, it's got to be coming, right? They texted the shit, but then it never came. So
I give you props for even knowing how to like maneuver through like Uber Eats and like that shit. I don't.
yeah,
I've never used. There's Uber Eats and then there's some other shit that everybody
DoorDash
uses.
is the other one. Yeah,
DoorDash.
I've never used DoorDash before, but the only pain in the ass thing is just setting it up to begin with. But
Yeah.
after you get over that hump of like, fuck, I gotta set this shit up. All right, I set it up. After that, it's smooth sailing because you don't have to do shit else.
You could just type in like Chinese food and then order your whole shit and then someone just leaves that shit on your doorstep, right?
They will literally leave it on your doorstep. Like
Yeah.
you don't have to talk to anybody. You don't have to do shit. You just press a button and get whatever you want right to your door.
They don't, but then they have your number and they're texting you shit. Like,
Most of them don't ever text you. It just
oh,
comes
that's
through
good.
the app. The
Oh,
only
that's
time I've ever
clutch.
been texted is from the Chinese restaurant.
That's kind of what's up by the Chinese restaurant. Like,
Now, sort of fuck them. Like, I don't want you texting me. Fuck
yeah,
off.
true. I saw a video once of a guy put the DoorDash shit down, took a picture, and then picked that shit up and went back to his car.
All
Oh.
right, that's funny. I will say though, there are obviously problems with Uber Eats. First of all, they treat their drivers shitty. Second of all, there have been times I ordered shit and it just didn't show up, or they sent me the wrong order and there's no way to fix it.
Yeah, I remember you telling me about that. That like you ordered some Taco Bell shit and they sent you like the wrong shit.
No, one time I ordered Chipotle.
Oh, Chipotle.
And they sent me somebody else's shit and it was OD spicy.
Yeah.
I was trying so hard to eat it, but I was like, this hurts.
I would be so mad because, yeah.
No, it's worse when it's worse when they don't send anything. Like there was one time
Like it confirmed
whole shit. Like one time, so I was in DC, ordered something, and it had the whole shit. Like I waited like 30, 40 minutes. It was about to be dropped off. Like they show you like how close the driver is on the app.
Yeah.
Like it'll be like they're fucking a minute away, whatever. The shit said delivered, and then it just wasn't delivered. And I was like, I went back in to look, and like the way you contact the driver, it was like number disconnected or some shit. I was like,
bro, you know how that happened to me one time? I do use Spot Hero when I drive down to a city. Like when I drive down to Chicago to park.
Mhm.
I use Spot Hero and the shit, like I was going to a volleyball tournament and there's a lot, like a Spot Hero shit right next to like the beach, like in Chicago. And I paid, shit was like, your spot's reserved, blah, blah, pull up to the shit. I was like, yeah, Spot Hero was like, yeah, we're full. You're not parking here. I was like, what?
yeah, what the
He
fuck?
was just like, nah, you can't park here. I was like, like the shit says park here. So like motherfucker made me leave. I parked on the street and then I called them and they refunded my shit. But I was like,
Yeah, don't accept the shit in the first place.
don't accept my shit.
Yeah.
And like supposedly that shit happens in Spot Here. So kind of fuck them, even though they're like finding you lots for cheap prices. But like don't have some shit, or kind of fuck the lot place because they're the ones that sign up through Spot Hero, but then are just rejecting people.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
No,
hopefully
see
that driver like fucking crashed with your Chipotle while he was eating the shit.
that is one of the problems with like the new economy, right? Like some of the shit is just like if some fucked up shit happens, it's just like you're assed out, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like some things you can't even get somebody on the phone to fix anything.
That's
you
what
know?
I'm saying. Yeah.
Like
you could get past losing out on your $8 burrito, but like you probably really just wanted to eat that burrito in the moment. And then like that guy just made your whole situation, that guy or girl,
yeah.
made your whole scenario just all fucked up where you kind of had to been like, fuck him or her.
I always tip super well too, because I know that the drivers don't get paid well. So I
They
always
don't get paid well for Uber Eats shit?
the drivers don't make a lot of money. And so I feel terrible. And so I'm like, I'm just gonna give a massive fucking tip. But then every now and then, I've only had how many bad experiences? Maybe 4 out of like ordering 100 meals.
Oh, that's
so like 4% of the time there was a problem. Every other time it was perfect. You know?
How was that guy, Chris Smalls? Was he like the G'est motherfucker ever?
Oh yeah, he's cool as fuck. Yeah.
What he was mad cool.
Oh, super cool. He just came from doing Tucker Carlson show, and then
Was he G? Like, was he all business, or like did he have a little bit of like? No, I know, but like, did he have a little like cool? Like, was it not like some non-business shit afterwards? We were like, yo, like, you rooting for the Lakers or some shit? Like,
we talked probably mostly about like politics and shit, but yeah, he's just a chill dude. You remember that dude? You remember that kid?
Kind of reminds me of like Tracy McGrady a little bit.
Remember that kid Ike in high school?
Yeah, Ike, but Ike was like next level, G. Like
that's how Chris is, dog.
Like next level. Like the guy Ike would wear like some loafers. Like we thought he was like a African prince or some shit because he used to wear like some gold loafers and like some shit that you're like, you don't wear that to a high school.
But that's what Chris is like. Chris walks in, he like daps me up, he sits down, and he's just like, "How y'all doing?"
Damn.
Crystal, and we were like, "Good." And he's just smooth, man. He's just smooth. And he was like, we were telling him like the little bits and pieces that we know from the media and stuff, and like, because it's hard to navigate. He's in a weird position. It's hard for him to navigate like all the interviews and the different audiences and shit.
Yeah.
And we would say some shit, and he'd be like, "Oh, I know." And I'd be like, "I know you know."
Nah, he seems savvy, man. Like he knows what the fuck he's doing. I was reading like his Twitter thing and the letter he wrote to the people in the factory before like the voting, and like motherfucker seems like he knows he knows what he understands the mission and the goal, and like
it's next level. He knows exactly what he's doing. He knows how to. They organized a fucking Amazon factory with like thousands of people in that shit, and they did that by like knowing all the little cliques and who likes who, and they were passing out like food and shit when people get off the bus to go to work, and they would just talk to people, and they just G'd their way into it.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, that's what's up. Shout out to that guy, man, because he seems like he really is just about his shit.
Nah, he's a cool dude.
And anyone who was saying that like the Tucker Carlson shit was like wrong, like that, he had fucking Tucker Carlson agreeing with him on shit and like getting behind unions and like.
And he didn't take the bait too on the AOC thing. He was
that answer.
It's not just her; it was everybody.
Yeah.
And Tucker was like, "That's true."
Yeah.
Because Tucker wanted it to be just a bash AOC fest, but he was like, "I'm not taking the bait on that shit."
Yep. Yeah, when I saw you with that dude, I was like, "Damn, that dude is just G." But I was wondering if like he hit you with some shit afterwards, like, "Damn, that chick ass over there is kind of fat." Like,
he didn't do that. He didn't do that, but he may have done that if Crystal wasn't there.
Yeah, that's to say, like, if it was just me, you, and him, like, I'm curious if he would be on some like, wait, he was kind of bad.
Yeah, he probably would. Nah, he's cool. He's definitely real cool. And I love how there were times where we were sitting there and he would just be like, we'd like look away for a second and he'd be on the phone and he'd be like, "Yeah, it was good."
He's probably getting hit up by everybody right now.
He is, for real. Like everybody. He had to take like 2 or 3 phone calls while we were sitting there.
That's what's up. So their next thing is they're trying to do another shit for a Amazon shit across the street or something?
Yeah, that's what they're doing. So, but don't be too discouraged though if we don't win this one, because it's a harder climb because he wasn't from this factory. He was from the other factory. So like they're trying, but if they don't win this one, it's okay because there's still hope to keep.
What would be the downside for workers to vote no to that shit? Like they're scared to vote no?
There's a lot of anti-union propaganda. So Amazon
people really fall for that shit? Like, hey, if you sign up for this, you're going to lose this. Yeah, because
they're told, like, well, they're going to take a percentage of your paycheck, and then what if they don't deliver anything better? Then you're just paying more money and getting nothing out of it, you know?
Yeah.
And so, but it didn't work. It didn't work for a number of reasons. One of the reasons is they're in New York State. Like, and in New York State, it's a very pro-union state. And people know, if you've ever talked to, like, a UPS driver who's unionized, they're like, yeah, I get, like, you know, X amount of weeks paid vacation, and I get paid this much, and I have to get time and a half if I work more than this amount of hours. And people like, that's what's up. Like, you got a good job. But like, you know, when it failed in Alabama, like, it's not a union state, number one. Number two, it's like the only jobs in the area. So they feel like I might lose my job if I vote for this shit. So there's differences, but the
Yeah,
propaganda
makes
can be
sense.
convincing if it's delivered well, and so it's an uphill battle to try to convince them, like, yo, this is good for you, like this is good for everybody, you know?
Yeah, no, that makes sense. And last shit, Molly thinks it's just a Westchester thing, maybe that they don't put mustard on the burger because she said in upstate New York they put mustard on burgers, and I've never experienced that because she thinks I order my burger specifically by saying like, let me get a burger. Like at McDonald's, like let me get a hamburger with just ketchup on it. So I already put the order in of like just ketchup on it.
Um, Hold on, I'm gonna look it up right now. We'll
So
get
we're
the
going to
replay.
upstate New York, and I'm gonna go to McDonald's and just say like, let me get a like number 3, the Big Mac shit, and see if they put mustard on it.
Let me see. Hold on. Let me look because I looked this up too the other day when me and Crystal were talking about it, and I think it said it was like New York or New York and Connecticut or New York and New Jersey.
But it has to be a certain part of New York because she feels that like upstate where she's from, Rochester and Buffalo potentially, they do put mustard on it.
Yeah, it's possible. And upstate New York is just different
That,
too.
like,
But
yeah,
so
there's
I'll
some-
try to find out which regions have. Where do McDonald's burgers come with mustard?
come from.
Okay. Do McDonald's burgers come with mustard? Why does McDonald's not have mustard? Does McDonald's in New York put mustard on their burgers? Okay, this is what I read before in the New York Post. Unlike most of the rest of the country, mustard is indeed not standard. Okay, so they say on any New York City McDonald's burger.
Okay.
Company rep chalked up the absence to customer preference, but would not say how or why the company arrived at that conclusion.
Because New Yorkers just know their shit. They're just fucking G as fuck. Like, we know that mustard doesn't go on a burger.
So let me see. So this just says New York City, and I'm pretty sure that's what I read before. But we're in Westchester, and
they don't put mustard on this.
That's just outside of the city. They don't put mustard on it. There's got to be some line. Like, I wonder in Rockland County what they do, you know?
Rockland, they probably put mustard on that shit up there.
You think so? In Rockland? It's just one above Westchester.
Yeah, Rockland might still be okay once you get to, like, Schenectady, like, Albany type shit. Then they're definitely putting mustard on your burger. Rockland's still kind of normal.
All right, let me read this article. Let me see. Mustard. Yeah, that's all it says. Unlike most of the rest of the country, mustard is indeed not standard on a New York City burger. A company representative chalked up the absence to customer preference, but would not say how or why the company arrived at that conclusion. They simply believe New Yorkers don't like mustard.
They simply don't believe New Yorkers don't like mustard. What a quote. Like, why?
Do they put mustard on McDonald's burgers where you are? Okay, hold on. This might give us more answer. In northern New Jersey, they do not put mustard on burgers.
Yeah, northern New Jersey might be Sopranos type shit where they know what the fuck is up also.
Yeah, it's the city. New York City area is northern New Jersey. You know, right. That's like almost part of New York City. You know?
True. Yeah.
You go right over the bridge, you're still kind of in New York City, even though it's New Jersey.
So Westchester probably falls into that category also.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
You know, and then once you start getting further and further up, people get weirder and weirder and weirder, so they start putting mustard on the shit.
So I'm reading the responses here. This is just in like a forum type thing, and everybody's answering what it's like where they are.
Uh-huh.
And most of them are saying that they do have mustard on theirs.
Yeah. So
wow.
Yeah, I'm gonna go.
So
I'm gonna be in upstate.
So it was just like tri-state area, basically.
Yeah, we kind of are like the smartest people in the nation.
I was legitimately offended when I heard like mustard's on the burger everywhere else. I was like,
that's what I'm saying. There's got to be something to like us knowing the trends and what the fuck works and what doesn't work.
Well, we're cutting against the trend. The trend is all the opposite. Everybody's putting mustard on their shit.
I know, but like I think we're next level onto like what we know what works and what doesn't work. Look in New York City, like that's where all the businesses and shit is at. So the nation's got to just follow suit and just stop putting mustard on this shit. But yeah, she said upstate New York puts it on there. So I'm gonna be curious. I'm gonna order I'm gonna just go to McDonald's, say let me get a Big Mac.
based on what we just read, she's right. Like
They're gonna put
all in
mustard on the
upstate
shit,
New
right?
York. The question is, where is the line? Because if I had to guess, I'd say Rockland still does just ketchup, because that's just above Westchester, and it's kind of just like Westchester.
Yeah, I would say like
So I would-
Monticello, New York,
Oh, Monticello's got mustard on that shit.
mustard on their shit, and that's like right
Yeah.
above Rockland.
Yeah, but that's not Rockland and that's not Westchester. You know.
Yeah, so Monticello
Yeah.
starts the mustard, and anything above Monticello, you're getting.
We
mustard.
might have to test this shit and make a video out of it.
Just
Like, we might
drive
have
through
to-
every fucking county.
Eat so many fucking McDonald's burgers that we die.
We don't have to eat them, but we could just order every.
Nah, we have to eat them.
We just keep going, and it's like no mustard, no mustard, no mustard, and then we get mustard, and they're like, "What are you gonna do now?" And you're like, "Just shit our brains out."
Low key though, I sort of want to test Connecticut too. How far into Connecticut? If you get a McDonald's burger in Stamford, Connecticut, that shit only has ketchup. There's no way a Stamford, Connecticut McDonald's burger has mustard on it. There's no way.
Stanford probably is just ketchup. Danbury probably puts mustard all over that shit.
I think they might just do ketchup, dog.
In Danbury too?
Yeah, because Connecticut.
Someone's gotta be listening from Stanford. Stanford.
Okay, Danbury, Connecticut is more New York than upstate New York is New York. You know what I'm saying?
I
like-
think Stanford and Danbury put mustard on their shit.
Stanford, I would put $100 on
Oh, you think Stanford does?
just ketchup on their shit.
Oh,
just
no,
ketchup.
no. I think Stanford and Danbury do mustard as well.
Nah, Stanford definitely does just ketchup.
Yeah. Nah. Someone listens from Stanford and someone's from Danbury. Just go get a burger for us.
I could go there tomorrow and check that shit. Like I could check that shit.
No, but someone's like there. Like someone's there. I'll send you. I'll Venmo you whatever your burger costs, but just let me know if that shit got mustard on it. And if it does have mustard on it, then you send me.
Nah, if it has mustard on it, I might have to like tell them and be like, let me talk to you real quick. Like you can't do this.
But McDonald's are franchise owned, right? I think they're owned by like people.
Right. But I think they might have policies on the menu from above them.
Oh, yeah, but it's kind of G that like New York was like, fuck your policy. We're not putting mayonnaise on or mustard on this shit. Where everybody else just fell in line. I don't know.
The only reason I even knew, to be fair, the mustard doesn't make it that much worse because I didn't even know a lot of the times that my burgers had mustard on it until one time somebody put a little bit too much mustard on it and I was like, is there mustard on this shit?
But it's that reaction was probably so random, just like, why is there mustard on this? More so
I was like,
I'm not really thrown off by this.
I literally
I'm just more
thought
so
they
confused.
fucked the order up. I was like,
Yeah.
I didn't ask for mustard. Like, what the fuck is this?
I didn't even know McDonald's fucking had mustard.
Yeah, but here's a crazy thing too. Like, and a bunch of the answers said this also. Like a Big Mac and a quarter pounder with cheese, like they don't have mustard on it.
Oh,
If you
so
get a
Big
quarter
Mac
pounder-
doesn't have mustard?
What's that? Yeah, Big Mac has the special sauce.
Oh, I gotta
So-
find a burger that would have mustard on it then, because I was just gonna order a Big Mac.
Oh yeah, Big Mac has a special sauce. You just gotta
Okay.
get a hamburger or cheeseburger.
Okay.
Yeah, and they said quarter pounder with cheese also doesn't have mustard on it. And so it's weird. Like, so if you get a quarter pounder with cheese, it comes with ketchup, but no mustard. But if you get a cheeseburger, it comes with the mustard. Like, why? That's mad extra. Like, why wouldn't you just have the continuity between the two?
Yeah.
Like, if you're gonna have mustard on your cheeseburger, why wouldn't you put it on your quarter pounder with cheese? That shit is just a different cheeseburger.
Yeah, there's definitely just an executive from like 1960 that liked mustard on his burgers and try to make that shit standardized.
Yeah.
And everybody just fell in line, but then there was a couple New Yorkers like, what the fuck? And that shit just never stuck here.
That's true.
Whatever.
That's true. All right. On that note, we love you guys. We'll talk to you soon. And it is late as fuck here, and I have to piss.
It's late.